They chopped it, and then, thank you. So everyone has 5 less.
Because everybody else.
Yeah. Buns on
Get Aaron.
John has all his buns on buns too. I'm good to go. Good luck, everybody.
When did the fish get here?
Murderers roll.
5 to go.
When did they show up?
Do I use this one?
Yeah. Brian calls. Joey raises to 15.
I will be seeing 0 more cards.
0 more.
No, you'll see 3, buddy.
I probably will miss some names.
You'll see
Watch
3
this.
of them.
Watch this.
Brian calls, AJ folds.
Check card.
It's game,
Bink.
Joey raises to 15, AJ folds. Everyone folds, Brian calls.
You checked on the door.
Joey bet 15, Brian calls.
I check.
You can't put it there.
Okay.
You gotta put it up here because that right there, it'll catch the. I check on the.
You gotta miss that burn box.
I'll miss that box.
Okay. Check.
Check.
Brian check.
Who's the comment?
5. Charlie's coming.
Oh, coming?
Not
In
there.
Germany?
No, I was there for about an hour.
In Germany?
No, I was there for about an hour.
About an hour?
Yeah.
That's longer than I'll ever be.
The shittiest airport terminal ever. Cold pretzel.
Where?
Germany.
You were actually just in New Jersey.
Yeah, they just lied to us on the directory.
New Jersey and Germany look very similar.
They were like, I don't even remember where the fuck we were.
They had the New Jersey accent.
Joey
Sounded
folds.
like German.
V-Pit folds. Dean raised 15.
Oh yeah, that's some dumb
Cat
shit.
calls. Logan folds. AJ folds. Brian calls.
We gotta call for the kids, you know.
Check. Check. Check.
I guess so. I saw it. I was like, because I still got him down here.
Dean checks.
Down
Pat check.
here. And then you get down that.
Brian bets 20.
I was like, all confidence, like, you have new friends. And I was like, no, that's the same guy. It's the same fucking guy.
Dean folds. Pat folds.
Can I get 2?
He's heating up.
Me?
2 hands, right?
No.
I won the first one.
Oh, you won that? Okay, never mind.
We
I
were
wasn't
playing.
really
You
worried.
weren't supposed to let Brian win that one.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna lose a hand tonight. No, I lost.
You lost the first one.
Fucking flip. Yeah. No, actually, I got even and I walked away. I'm proud of myself.
I won the last 2 and I'm still down.
Kevin was literally trying to cool my ass. Pocket tens, they bet the flop. The turn was it was ace whatever. The turn was a 10. The father called everything fucked up, and he had ace
right. I think we got the audio fixed here. We're going to be jumping right into the hands. I have Vanilla Ice with an ace-6 of clubs. I want to welcome you all to Stack Social Live, Stack Social Club in Lubbock, Texas. Right. Wednesday night, 5 on the button. We're going to be jumping right into the hands. I don't know if everybody's as excited as I am about the baseball playoffs, but I'm a happy camper coming in today as a Rangers fan. Rangers to the American League Championship Series. And we got 5 on the button poker here going right now. And Pat's looking down at an 8-7 of diamonds. He has the pair of 8s, but Rainbolt with the pair of jacks is leading the way. And it's going to be a king of diamonds on the river. No help for Pat. Rainbolt with kings and jacks. He's going to call Pat's bet, show him the winner. And Rainbolt going to scoop a little bit of a pot here. King of diamonds on the river. No help for Pat. Glad you are here joining us for our first live stream of the week. Showing the winner. Rainbolt going to scoop a little bit of a pot here. Doors open every day at 1 p.m. Games typically tip off around 1:30. You got Pat, Dino, Grigio, Bluff City, V-Pip, Joey, Rainbolt, and Vanilla Ice at the table. Got Kevin in the box. Haven't seen him dealing in a while. He's usually on the table trying to rake in chips and trying to throw people off. So Pat and Dino Grigio both looking down at suited cards, both looking down at clubs, making calls. Dino with the connectors, Pat with a 10 deuce, though. Rainbolt with an ace deuce. Going to go away. Vanilla Ice making the call. Bluff City's going to raise to $15 and V-Pip making the call as well. And as we see, John's playing a little bit looser here lately. The 5-4s, the 4-2s. He don't mind playing any of them. We got 2 clubs on the flop, but we also have 2 kings, so it probably doesn't bode well for too much betting. If another club hits the board, though, we could see something. 9 bringing in the straight and the diamond draw as well. Dino picking up the pair of 9s. He's actually leading the way. Club hits the board, though. We could see something. 9 bringing in the straight and the diamond draw as well. Dino picking up the pair of 9s. He's actually leading. And an 8 of diamonds. So Dino now with the win in hand. Now whether or not he completes that, we'll find out. Probably would take just a small bet to get him off of it. But it's going to check around the table, and Dino's going to turn over the winning hand. That we'll find out. Probably would take just a small bet to get him off of it. It's going to check around the table, and Dino's going to turn over the winning hand. So moving on down, John, we got to be careful here. Careful what you're showing on that camera, good sir. We can see it. Don't need to see any booty shaking. So moving on down, John, we got to be careful here. Careful what you're showing on that camera. Well, if you're in the live, go ahead and say hello in the chat and smash that like button. Share it with your friends. Share the link on your social media, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever you choose to. Help us get that content out there, and let's keep pushing this thing and getting this thing growing. Bluff City with an ace-jack offsuit. He's going to raise it up to $20. And Joey with the 8-9 of clubs, flopping the open-ender. Dino with a king-queen. He's got really nothing after the flop. Of course, Dino's Bluff City, except living up to his namesake. He's going to put out $25 and get an instant call from Joey. And it's going to be a burn and a turn and a jack on the turn. So Brian now moving into the lead. Well, he was in the lead, but strengthening that lead. He is an 82% now. Joey at 18% going to make the call, hoping for a 5 or a 10. Brian now moving into the lead. Well, he was in the lead, but and it's a river 10. A river 10. So Joey going to get paid off here. $40 bet here. We're going to see a raise from Joey, and Joey's going to put out the raise, and of course he's not going to get called. I don't know, Brian. Brian could think this is a bluff, but Joey puts out a pretty stiff bet. I don't know that Brian's willing to make that call. Let's just see if he is. Brian is definitely a risk taker at times. If he feels like somebody's bluffing him, he's going to not be scared. And he does make the call, and he is going to see the straight. Oh, my goodness. Brian's not going to be happy about that one. He's leading all the way to the river, and that darn river. When we would play our home games, my dad would always tell us we should play a tournament without the river. No rivers. I don't know why, because he beat a lot of people on the river a lot of times. We should play a tournament without the river. No rivers. Joey leading the way with 525 in chips. As we get more and more coming in watching, I want to find out how many of you are Astros fans, how many of you are hoping for an all-Texas championship series. All right, Joey at 525 in chips. Bluff City right now down at the bottom with 35 in chips. Vanilla Ice going to look down at a 9-2 of diamonds, and let's see how much he raises. Oh, wow, he just... Oh, he had straddled, excuse me. A straddle from AJ. Of course, an instant raise to $25 from Bluff City, and he is going to pick up that $15. Kevin with a little bit of theatrics out of the box. He looks so disappointed. We are on hand number 7. Guys, I want to remind you about our Tuesday $3,000 guarantee, $100 buy-in or $120 max buy-in, $45 minimum buy-in. Great tournament to have here. We also have our bankroll builders. We have those on Saturday nights and Sunday nights. It's $30 max buy-in, $20 min buy-in, $10 rebuys, $500 guarantee. Great for the beginner. Great for someone who just wants to see if they can actually start from nothing and build a pot, to build a bankroll. Joey raising to 15 with a Jack 9, so the suited connectors making him happy a little bit. Rainbow looking down at a King 5 of hearts, so Joey now not in a good position if hearts come. Please don't touch the pot, sir. And a Jack 4 Queen on the flop, so Joey ahead right now. He does not have to worry about the hearts at this point. And we're going to get checked around the table, and it's going to be a 5 of spades. So now it does put the straight possibility out there. Brian with the $25 bet, and Joey going to go away. Pair of 5s for Rainbolt. He's going to make the call, but he is behind. And a Jack of spades on the river. So Joey now with the pair of jacks, he would have been the winner of this hand had he stayed, but he did not. And Bluff City's going to win it with a pair of 6s. See him checking that down there. You see two weaker pairs, and nobody wants to take a risk. I don't know that if I'm in Rainbolt's position, I don't make a bet right there, just because I already know I called with a weaker hand. The worst thing I can do is check into a hand that I could have bluffed out, and he probably could have bluffed out those pair of sixes. But to each his own. That's also why I lose more chips than some. You got to pick and choose your places to do that. Rainbolt's tight enough player that he probably could have bet Brian off of that pretty easily, I think. I don't know what he did reload, so V-Pip is not at the table, John, so Joey with the 10-8 of clubs going to make this flat call at $5, and it's going to get folded around to Rainbolt, who makes it $25 with an 8-5. I just got through talking about how he plays a little bit tighter, and he goes off and makes that call. So Joey making the call as well, and Bluff City with pocket jacks, slow playing those. He just flats it there. He flats it right into an overcard onto the board. A pair of fives for Rainbolt, so he probably will put out a continuation bet. He does not. His ace of spades on the turn, so now 2 overs on the board. That is not a 7 of diamonds on the turn. It is an ace of spades. Rainbolt now with a straight draw. No, excuse me. I was looking at that 7. The pair of jacks going to go away. Rainbolt with the bet, and he is going to pick it up. And that's what a pre-flop raise can do for you. It opens the door for you to be able to bluff if you have a reputation for showing good hands most of the time. Rainbolt now right on the heels of Joey at $395. Joey down to $485. AJ right there in the middle at $370, and Dino Grigio right behind him at $360. Haven't seen Dino playing in a while. I hadn't seen him playing or dealing. Of course, I haven't been here a whole lot. I'm just now getting back into the swing of things. The real job takes precedence sometimes. Vanilla Ice looking down at an ace-5 of diamonds. Pat with the king-4 of diamonds. So this could become an ugly hand if we see diamonds on the board. We do not, however. It is going to be an ace-8-5. Kevin bringing that burn card over the center a little bit too close. It is an ace-8-5. No, or 1 club on the board. But Vanilla Ice with the 2 pairs, so he is in a commanding spot right now. And it looks like he is going to win this thing with a bet. No one wants to go up against him with absolutely nothing in their hand. AJ sporting the old school Montreal Expos hat. Speaking of baseball, the Montreal Expos. Who even remembers that team? AJ sporting the old school Montreal Expos hat. Speaking of baseball, the Montreal Expos. Who even remembers that team? I know we don't have very many watching, but I'm going to give away an hour's worth of free cash time to the first person who can tell me what happened to the Montreal Expos. Did the franchise fold? Did they move? If they moved, you have to tell me where they moved. And if they did not, and you get it right with the folding, then you just win it. But 1 hour's free time for the first person that can give me that. Pat with an ace-10 of clubs. We're going to flop 2 deuces and a queen, so no help for anybody, really. You just win it. But 1 hour's free time for the first person that can give me that. See Mac coming into the screen. Hello, Mac. Does a great job waiting on our players and running the cage all at the same time. She's a woman of many talents. Hello, Mac. Does a great job waiting on our players and running the cage all at the same time. She's a woman of many talents. Bluff City, it shows Bluff City at $30 in chips. I don't think that's right. He has reloaded, and so he does have a little bit more in chips. Bluff City, it shows Bluff City at $30 in chips. I don't think that's right. He has reloaded, and so he does have a little bit more in chips. Pat with the mountain of chips in front of him, or at least a tower. A tower of chips, so to speak. It looks more like a silo. Stack 4 of them. They look like the old grain silos that used to be up around here in Lubbock. Of course, they were everywhere, but folded around, we're going to be a heads up to the flop. We're going to have an 8 ace jack on the board. Looks like 2 spades and a diamond, but I'm not real sure of that yet. So Bluff City with the jack, Joey with a jack. It is an ace jack 8, and it is 2 spades, just as I suspected. A pair of aces going to, and the ace jack, the flop and 2 pair, and Joey going to go away, and Brian going to go away and show that he's folding a jack. He wants to let him know he can make a good fold once in a while, not just a bad call. I'm kidding, Brian. I'm kidding. Brian going to go away and show that he's folding a jack. He wants to let him know he can make a good fold. Next time I play the live stream, that's going to be my name on the screen. I call bad. Next time I play the live stream, that's going to be my name on the screen. I call bad. I want to thank those of you that are in here watching. I'm stuttering over my words, acting like I haven't spoken in about 6 years. I have been in a coma. No, not really. Thank those of you that are in here watching. I'm stuttering over. Actually, spent the weekend driving up to Utah. I had to make a quick trip, and let me tell you, oh my gosh, it is gorgeous up around that area. And the Rocky Mountains up there, the mountains up in Utah are just a little different than the mountains in New Mexico. The mountains in New Mexico are really nice, but you get up in there in Utah and the leaves are turning orange and yellow and red, and just a beautiful sight. And they're so huge. Got all the way up to Salt Lake, just north of Salt Lake City, before we turn around and come back. And we're going to see another deuce-deuce-queen flop. In fact, I want to say it's the exact same flop, except I think we had black queen as well. Maybe not. But 2 deuces and a queen on the flop. We got 5 people in. We don't know what AJ has. So the pair of 7s under the gun, still in the lead as though we can guess. 2 deuces and a queen on the flop. Hey, easy, Quavo. Hey, listen here, buddy. So the pair of 7s. Need to see you in here on the live stream here pretty soon. Actually, that is a good. I should play that as my screen name. You play bad, because it's not referencing me. It's talking about anybody else I'm playing. Glad to see you in the chat, Quavo. Haven't seen you in the poker room in a while. You need to come on in and play in that live stream. Talking about anybody else I'm playing. Glad to see you in the chat, Quavo. Haven't seen you in the poker room in a while. You need to come on in and play in that live stream. All right, we're going to be moving on. I'm going to guess here. I don't even know. I didn't look at the... No, sir. No, sir, Quavo. No, sir. Not in reference to me. You know better, son. Guess here. I don't even know. I didn't look at the... No, sir. No, sir, Quavo. No, sir. Not in reference to me. You'll get to find out this summer when I'm back playing. Bluff City all in for $10. So maybe he was down to 30 and I just thought he wasn't. V-Pip he's going to 3-bet it with pocket 9s to $35. See if he can get a call. And Rainbolt all in with a king, queen. He's all in for 100. He 4-bets it. And I would suspect that John's not going to fold for 65 more with a pocket pair. And Rainbolt all in with a king, queen. No, Brian did. He did reload, so he's not all in. That is not true. And John does make the call. So we're going to be heads up here. Rainbolt all in. So there is no more action. We should see 5 up here pretty quick. And it is a king 10 deuce. So king now takes the lead. So there is no more action. We should see 5 up here pretty quick. Oh, Rainbolt is not all in either. He 4-bet to 100. I'm sorry. Man, I'm not looking. King now takes the lead. It is a bet and a call there with an ace on the turn. Really kills those pocket 9s. They were already killed off the flop, but John with no way to go here but a bluff possibility. And it is going to go check, check. Rainbolt showing the king and John showing the fold, or the muck. Another pot here, plus 205 for Rainbolt, so a good little pickup. He's going to take a commanding lead in chips at 700. Joey behind him a good ways at 250 behind. He is at 450. V-Pip down at the bottom at 90 in chips, and he is going to reload here. Commanding lead in chips at 700. Joey behind him a good ways at 250 behind. He is at 450. AJ just sitting over there calm, cool, and collected as always. 5 on the button. Like a sneaky snake in the grass waiting to strike. Bluff City with King Queen. He is straddling for 10, I do believe. Joey's going to fold the 9-8. John following suit with his suited connector, or suited cards. Pat with the 10-7 folds as well. Rainbolt going to make that call with a King Queen as well. So King Queen versus King Queen. We had a raise and a 3-bet. We have a 3-bet to 65 from Bluff City. Rainbolt going to think about this for a second. He is going to make the call pretty quick. J.D. Arriaga, he said they moved to Washington, D.C., and that is correct. They are now the Washington Nationals. So, J.D., you have an hour of free time. I will let them know at the cage. 9-4 Jack on the flop. They are now the Washington Nationals. So, J.D., you have an hour of free time. No help. Bluff City all in for $95. At this point, there's $200 and something in the pot. And Rainbolt getting the fold. Oh, look at that. It's going to show the King Queen, and Rainbolt's going to be none too happy, but also none too sad. Rainbolt getting the fold. Oh, look at that. He has no way of knowing he's folding the exact same cards that we're betting into him. Happy, but also none too sad. Rainbolt taking a little bit of a hit there. He's down to 635 at this point. Exact same cards that we're betting into him. Rainbolt taking a little bit of a hit there. He's down to 635 at this point. Ace King for John. He reloaded right at the right time. He's going to get suited. Big slick. Pocket 4s for Dino. He's going to make that small little call. Pat and Rainbolt going to get out of the way. And AJ, who is not at the table with an Ace-8, would certainly have made that call. He might even have 3-bet there, although it wouldn't have been a good idea. But Bluff City making the call with a 9-6, and we have 8-8-3 on the flop. So an 8-10-3 on the flop. No help for anyone, really. And an ace on the turn, so that gives V-Pip top pair. John looking at top pair. But it's going to check around. And I don't think John will make very much on this hand. He may just make the pot and the pot only, unless Bluff City decides to bluff at it. And he does not. It's going to check around. And I don't think John will make very much on this hand. He may just make the pot and the pot only, unless Bluff City decides to bluff. JD, just to verify, are you a member already? JD, just to verify, are you a member already? So Dino looking down at a King 10 of clubs. Jack 5 of clubs for Pat. Joey with pocket 4s this time. And we're going to get a 6-9 ace. No help for anybody. Looking down at a King 10 of clubs. Jack 5 of clubs for Pat. Joey with pocket fours this time. And we're going to get a 6-9 ace. No help for anybody. And Bluff City with the bluff. Going to pick up some pot there. And Bluff City with the bluff. Going to pick up some pot there.
It's just kind of like.
Dino going to look down at a king 9, making a flat call for $5 here. No one else with anything really interesting. The only thing going to make this interesting is who hits their trash card flop. And a king queen 5. So Dino actually picking up the best hand with a good card in his hand. Anything really interesting? The only thing going to make this interesting. And check around to the turn and a deuce. Now a deuce does bring in the straight draw for John, so he'll be eagerly awaiting the river. He is going to make the call for $10. And Kevin is going to put down a 9. So 2 pair for Dino. So he'll be eagerly awaiting the river. He is going to make the call for $10. And he is going to pick up one of the few pots I've seen him pick up tonight. Of course, Dino don't play many hands if he doesn't have to. He would prefer to. We all would. Rainbow to 635. Pat at the bottom right now at 190. Vanilla Ice right there in the middle at 360. He would prefer to. We all would. Rainbow to 635. I hope to see a good turnout tonight. We got a good table. It's 6-handed. Or 7-handed, excuse me. I hope to see a good turnout tonight. But we would love to see that table fill up, that's for sure. Always a better game when it's a full table. 7-handed, excuse me. But we would love to see that table fill up, that's for sure. Always a better game when it's a full table. Joey with pocket queens, 3-betting to 50 after Bluff City makes the raise, and he does call. And it is ace king 6, so Bluff City now really wanting Joey to trip up. He just doesn't know it. He is behind. Going to go check again, and a 10 on the river, and that could give Bluff City something. Well, never mind. They do check, and it is going to be a win for Joey. Check again, and a 10 on the river, and that could give Bluff City something. Well, never mind. They do check, and it is going to be a win for Joey. We have our hours tournament that everybody's trying to qualify for. We still have some spots available, but keep that in mind as you play cash here at Stacks. You rack up hours, and every time we reach 20 people with 100 hours, we have a $6,500 free roll. It's a true free roll. Those are the only 20 people in it, and it is a $6,500 prize pool. If you reach 100 hours before others, you continue to collect hours, and for every hour you collect, you get an additional $1,000 in starting chips until that last person reaches 20 hours. I know right now, I believe the leader has about 300 hours, so he has about 200,000 in additional chips. We have pocket fives, ace king from Pat's going to move all in and get the fold. John not interested in drawing for that backdoor flush. Pocket fives, ace king, or the gutty. Move all in and get the fold. John not interested in drawing for that backdoor flush. Or the gutty.
Everybody turned around. He goes, hello. And we're like, hello.
If it's not, I'm gonna tell you Brian tries for 10.
No,
But if there's a way,
they said give me dying reach.
like, I guess there's one that's
Joey
gonna
folds.
Is there a laser on my chest?
John raises the 30. Dean folds.
yeah. Take what you want.
Cat
That's
folds.
not very
because you just haven't had your green or red.
West done?
I've been there for years. Remember, I had to get something for like a
Alright, everyone folds.
Bang.
I've been there. So, well, it's been a year and a half.
I couldn't even call on the button.
Yeah, no, we don't.
I think it's like one,
Yes, that's
one
low.
18. If it was suit,
John just looks back.
That's what I thought. I just was making sure, JD. I can't see the picture. My eyes are blind.
Alright, Brian's got him. One's on 8. One's on 8.
That's what I thought. I just was making sure, JD. I can't see the picture. My eyes are blind.
Can I straddle for 2 and make it
John folds. Dean folds.
reverse straddle?
Cat folds. Brian goes all in. AJ calls. Alright, they're running it twice.
Oh. I could have linked you.
All right, we got heads up action here with Bluff City all in with a 9-4. And let's just see how this is going to go here. All right, we got heads up action here with Bluff City all in with a 9-4. And let's just see how this is going to go here. Pocket aces versus pocket queens. Not sure why our card reader's not showing the right cards here, but we do have pocket aces versus pocket queens. Pocket aces versus pocket queens. And maybe what they're trying to fix in the room. Not sure why our card reader's not showing the right cards here, but we do have pocket aces versus pocket queens.
Yeah.
I have spades.
Maybe what they're trying to fix in the room.
It's funny, you're in a hand like this. Like Jack, if I'm Jackie right now, I'm like, come on ace, and it's like Jackie, you're already ahead. Shut up.
And an ace on the turn going to secure that win really quickly. They are running it twice. So Bluff City now hoping for a queen on the bottom board. And an ace on the turn. And he hits a queen. Oh, and a river ace is going to give AJ the win on both boards. Oh, how brutal is that? You think you're getting half your money back, and lo and behold, the case ace comes creeping in. And I told you, AJ is a sneaky snake in the grass. Oh, how brutal is that? You think you're getting half your money back, and lo and behold, the case ace comes creeping in. And that Montreal Expos hat is good luck. Snake in the grass. Montreal Expos hat is Rainbolt is still at 635 in chips. Vanilla Ice though adding on, he's got 500 in chips. He's moving right on up the list. Rainbolt is still at 635 in chips. Vanilla Ice though adding on, he's got 500 in chips. He's moving right on up the list. I think that's John asking to win a hand. That was gross. I'm telling you. 3-bet from Bluff City with a queen jack. Let's see how this plays out. Rainbolt making that call for 15. It is going to be a deuce on the flop. So 2 hearts on the flop as well. Vanilla Ice and Rainbolt both flopping a pair of 2s. Bluff City with the straight draw and a 6, no help. It's going to get checked around the board. AJ, of course, going to take a stab at it for $25. Bluff City making the call. He wants to hit a 10 on the turn. On the river. And Rainbolt's going to get out of the way with his deuce. Bluff City looking for that 10, I'm sorry. It's going to be a 7 on the river. You're going to get a check here from AJ, of course. And Bluff City says, time for me to do it. They ran it twice, and both aces come. Always brutal when the case card comes and beats you, no matter what it is. They ran it twice, and both aces come. Always brutal when the case card comes and beats you, no matter what it is. Yeah, no joke, Lou. No joke. It does look like the poker app in real life. It just seems to happen on the poker app a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more. Yeah, no joke, Lou. No joke. It does look like the poker app in real life. It just seems to happen on the poker app a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more.
Because I was like, start over with the so he has an ace deuce that top to a pair.
Well, some good hands to start this one here. Ace 10, ace jack, 10-8, not a bad hand, and 9-6 suited. Oh my gosh, and we have three hearts on the flop. Well, some good hands so to start this Brian going to get a little bit of revenge here if it holds up. And it should hold up because the only heart on the board bigger is a 10 of hearts. He needs another heart not to hit. So he raises to 30, and he's going to get called. Somewhere he's got to get called. He does. 6 of clubs, no help. Brian's still leading the way, and he is going to ring this for every last bit he can. $75. Wants to look like he's on tilt there. He wants to look like he's on tilt. He wants to look like he's just kind of pushing. AJ not falling for it. $75. Wants to look like he's on tilt there. He wants to look like he's on tilt. He wants to look like he's just kind of pushing. AJ not falling for it. Chip's starting to equal out a little bit. Pat's still bringing up the caboose of that train at 275, but he's added to his stack as well. Dino doing better at 340. Chip's starting to equal out a little bit. Pat's still bringing up the caboose of that train at 275, but he's added to his stack as well. Dino doing better at 340. So AJ trying to squeeze a little bit of money out of his flush. I don't know that he'll get a whole lot. Oh, my goodness. Well, I was wrong because John makes the bet. He makes the bet of $80. AJ going to raise it here. He's going to see how much he thinks he can get off of it. He wants to try to make this look like he's trying to buy it. He don't want to do a min raise here. I'd be surprised if it was anything less than about $250. But I could be wrong. Looks like he is just going to raise it up to $160. It is a min raise. A little surprised with the min raise. I think he probably could have got away with more of a raise against John here. Of course, John having the 2 pair. But a bigger raise, I think, makes John feel like he's trying to buy it. Of course, he could be using reverse psychology. Brian really putting on more of a show, I think, here at this point. Not really considering calling. Not with a bet and a raise. Brian really putting on more of a show, I think, here at this point. Not really considering calling. Not with a bet and a raise. And what is he going to do? And now that I think about it, I mean, the min raise is all that he can get to call probably. He does make the call. And he shows the flush. And AJ going to take down this pot with a flush. A nice little flush there. John out a little bit of frustration, clearly. He knew he should have let it go. But AJ going to take down this pot. And actually, can't tell, did that min raise take all of his chips? No, it did not. Clearly. He knew he should have let it go. But actually, can't tell, did that min raise take all of his chips? No, it did not. Ace 10 versus King Jack. Ace 10 versus King Jack. Ace on the turn. Vanilla Ice going to take this pot pretty easy. AJ wins when he wants to. I'm telling you, man. It's the Montreal hat. Ace on the turn. Vanilla Ice going to take this pot pretty easy. AJ well, we have it. We have an All-Texas American League Championship Series. The Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros starting off Sunday in the best-of-7 series. We have an All-Texas American League Championship Series. The Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros starting off Sunday in the best-of-7 series. Hell yeah, they are, Lou. They got the team to do it, and they're going to get Scherzer back for the championship series. So this team really could put it together, and they are going to be looking at revenge after that last series with the Astros where they played like crap. They're going to get Scherzer back for the championship series. So AJ with a pretty commanding lead in chips now at 702, but Rainbow picking up. Rainbow not too far behind at 605. With a pretty commanding lead in chips now. Just a little more evidence that college basketball is absolutely crooked as hell, like most of the sports. Kansas is not going to get any more punishment for all of their involvement in the more evidence that college basketball is absolutely crooked as scandal from federal corruption. Kansas is not going to get any more No postseason ban, no suspension for Bill Self, none of that bull crap. And they just keep getting away with it. Federal corruption. No postseason ban, no suspension for Bill Self, none of that bull crap. And they just keep getting away with it.
No, like in the river. Like they would stand in the river. Like this is back in the 80s.
Rally is insane.
Drivers. They had to stop doing that class. Too many people died.
I bet that is good.
I'm not even a big soccer fan.
Yeah, I'm not, but I get into the World Cup and stuff. I used to.
But like, it was just good stuff.
Yeah.
Just like 90s, 2000s in there.
Yeah. I imagine watching something about somebody that's actually successful. I enjoyed the Johnny Manziel one.
Yeah, me too. I liked it a lot more than
Dino with the king 9, Pat with a queen 9. So they're getting out of the way. John had raised to $15. Rainbolt, Bluff City, and Villanelle Ice all calling. 2 clubs on the flop. So I think that was Pat that had 2 clubs earlier. He may be kicking himself. But the Jack 9 having the straight draw. Of course, John with cards that we haven't been able to see makes the bet of 20 after the flop. The ace of hearts on the turn. That's going to give us 2 hearts on the turn and 2 pair for 2 pair for Rainbolt. And a 10 on the river, though, giving Vanilla Ice the win. AJ just, like you said, AJ just wins when he wants to. 2 pair for Rainbolt. Quavo, that is his game early on, especially. Like you said, AJ just wins when he wants to. Yes, he does. A bet of 75, and is that just a raise to 175? And Rainbolt does make the call. Tough hand to get away from when that 10 hits the river, but got to know who you're playing with. That's AJ. He just wins whenever he wants to, so you just got to hope you're not there when he decides to win. Got to know who you're playing with. That's AJ. He just wins whenever he wants to, so you just got to hope you're not there when he decides to win. Take a quick break right here. I'm going to pause this so y'all can hear the table check.
Kinsey, I'll give her the cash. Will you go buy some lottery?
Take a quick break right here. I'm going to pause this so y'all can hear the table check.
You just go in there and you're like, I need $20 worth of
Powerball.
the Powerball. Will you
do that? Make sure they buy it.
like real quick?
No, we'll include you in the.
Just right there. Just hurry. Yeah.
The closest one.
Logan is 25.
Yep.
Easy mark that.
You're gonna get they're $2 a piece.
Yeah. Don't do the extra for free. Be like, I want the $2 each.
$2 each
Powerball for tonight.
And then you're gonna get 40 tickets. You're gonna get 8 sets of 5.
Yeah. Like go so fast. Like get there as fast as you can.
Text me what I need to say verbatim.
No.
Powerball $2 each.
Text it.
Logan checks. Brian
Somebody
messaged
text
me.
me.
Do it how you Logan calls. Logan calls. Table calls.
Who's it, us?
Appreciate it.
Well, I hope y'all come in
Just for
second.
Steve.
Hope you guys come in second.
Someone text me.
Tell you what,
I got
I
you.
win, I'll give you each $1 million.
That's perfect.
Sounds good.
This gas station right
Went check.
Whichever
Yeah.
one. Whichever
Either
one.
one.
It doesn't matter.
Hey,
It's just as
how much you
random.
go down Frankfurt?
I'm going to start with 305.
Go down there because that
Charlie's got
one's good.
305.
Yeah, the one on the corner down here.
What's up, man? Hey, how are you, man? Good, dude?
Yes,
Charlie.
go to that
Pete.
one.
Nice to meet you. Too.
God damn.
You started. Hey, tell him. You tell him you started with 305.
I do. Wait, buy the music station.
buy Powerball tickets. The $2 ones each, please.
Short ass arms, Kevin.
Don't be down on yourself like that.
I was talking about you. I had to grab that shit.
Brian shouts return.
All right, we're back, and you got Charlie now on the table. Unfortunately, that's not me. All right, we're back, and you got Charlie. That's definitely not me. Unfortunately, that's not me.
It was daylight would have happened. Brian shouts return.
It's definitely not me. A 4-5 for John. And Joey looking down at pocket threes. He is going to just call the straddle from Brian. Guys, I know these guys have names on here, but I'm just not going to continue to call them that. Unless someone specifically says they're hiding from their wife. I'm not changing the name. Pat looking down at a king 10 of clubs and rainbow with a queen 10 of spades and hearts. Bluff City with the ace-7 of clubs, though. Brian looking down at ace-7 of clubs, hoping to hit a little bit of a flop there. Jordan, I missed that hand, so I'm going to have to go back and watch for it. Ace-9-7 on the flop, so 2-pair for Brian. He does flop the 2-pair. No one else in a good position, but John is going to take a stab at it with absolutely nothing. Pat going to go away. And Joey with pocket threes is going to get raised, or it's going to be a 3-bet, a raise. So Joey going to get out of the way. Brian going to pick up that pot. John with the insta-fold on the bluff. And AJ just racking up the chips. He's up to 960 now, leading the way. I don't know when the last time I saw him lose a session was. Oh, geez. Never mind, Jordan. What are you on here? Don't be coming on here talking about other poker sites. We're watching live poker here, buddy. Hope you're doing all right, Jordan. Hadn't seen you in a long time. I'm sure you're busy with getting ready for refereeing as well. But you only do basketball, is that right? You don't do football? I'm sure you're busy with getting ready for refereeing as well. But you only do basketball, is that right? You don't do football? And an 8-9-4, so 4 players hit pairs here. And it's a pretty small board, so you could see some action on this hand, believe it or not. There are 2 diamonds. Could slow things down if one hits immediately. 4 players hit pairs here. Pretty small board, so you could see some action on this hand, believe it or not. There are 2 diamonds. Could slow things down if one hits immediately. A king on the turn, and now that gives Bluff City a 2-pair. So Brian with 2-pair, and he's going to bet it up. And he's going to end up getting folded around too, more than likely. Highly doubt that anybody makes that call. Dean could, just to see, but of course with that call from John, he might jump in there. I mean, he might fold pretty quickly, and he did. Oh, Dean's going to be furious if it's an ace on the river. But it's not. It is a 10 on the river. So Brian now going to take a hefty stab at it. But John, without hitting the trips or his own 2-pair, he's going to make that fold. Oh, he did make the call. Wow. A little bit of a surprise there from John. I didn't expect to see him make that call. And Brian going to pick up a pretty good chip stack there. Oh, he did make the call. Wow. A little bit of a surprise there from see him make that call, and Brian gonna pick a pretty good chip stack there.
200 player chip.
Brian and Rainbolt both at 30% on pre-flop raising, so they're sure not shy about throwing their chips out there pre-flop. Brian and Rainbolt both at 30% on pre-flop raising, so they're sure not shy about throwing their chips out there pre-flop.
Yeah, they probably fucking changed.
Dude, we bought 2,700 from that same fucking gas station one day. Trust me, that took a while. Yeah. 2,700. Okay, so we were talking about shows that we like on Netflix.
Pocket 6 and pocket 6 for Pat, pocket 5 for Dino. And all of a sudden, one of Dino's outs are gone immediately. And AJ with pocket 2s. Don't be surprised if we see a 2 come out here on the flop. Pocket 6 for Pat, pocket 5 for Dino. All of a sudden, one of Dino's outs are gone. Oh, a 2-10-9 would be gross. Don't be surprised if we see a 2 come out here on the flop. All in from John. He's going to be all in for 210. He's playing a little bit of... Oh, 2-10-9 would be gross. A little bit of frustration there. Dean going to go away. He's not real happy about that bet from John. John a little bit on tilt, deciding he's just going to go at it. AJ, no, AJ, make that call. Just make the call, buddy. Come on. John a little bit on tilt, deciding he's just going to go at it. Brian really trying to decide. I mean, he has got him crushed. Oh, and he folds. Did he show? I think he did show. Brian has him crushed. Oh, and they're going to see a flop. Brian has him crushed. And with that flop, Brian very likely wins that hand. And, of course, we don't get to see those other 2 cards, but... Oh, and they're going to see a flop. Brian has him crushed. And with that flop, Brian very likely wins that hand. And, of course, we don't get to see those other 2 cards, but...
I bet Charlie was in there like, holy shit, fives. Oh shit, sixes. Oh shit, twos. And they was like, they all folded. They suck. Oh my god. What'd you have? What did you have, Jeff?
10-8 off. That's all at 10.
Goddamn.
I told myself too that I was calling him.
Charlie called. Folded with Charlie.
Five. But then it was like 5 people. I thought that any of us would poke 200.
Pat raises
We
5
poked in. We didn't even think about raising.
Charlie called.
Yeah.
And Charlie here with a king 6 of spades. Hadn't really seen him playing at all. Not too much anyway. Pat raises to 10 with a 7-3 off. Pat getting a little bit frisky, and he is going to flop the pair here. And he is going to flop the only pair. Check around the board, and it's going to be a 6 on the turn. So Pat now with the straight draw as well. But Charlie takes the lead on him with a pair of 6s. He's going to flop the only pair. Check around the board, and it's going to be a 6 on the turn. Dean with a 7 makes the call, and Pat going to go ahead and go away with his pair of 3s. And it is a jack on the river, so that's going to give Dino the lead. And it's going to come down to a check, and Dean going to take the pot there. It is a jack on the river, so that's going to give Dino the lead. And it's going to come down to a check, and Dean going to take the pot there. So AJ leading the way with a pretty dominant lead at 950 in chips, but Brian clawing his way back at 735. Dino right there in the middle at 290. So AJ leading the way with a pretty dominant lead at 950 in chips, but Brian clawing his way back at 735. Dino right there in the middle at 290.
You guys are all paying for AJ Pole driver.
I say we put a fucking million guarantee on it. I'll buy this place.
Fucking $100, $120 buy-in minimum guarantee.
It's a $1 million
The whole state
free
of
roll.
Texas
Just a
will
free
show
roll.
up. Then we'll actually get the
You have to
guarantee.
play the day. You have to pay the day.
How well can y'all hear that table talk? I'm just curious. How well can you hear it when I'm quiet? And then I'm also want to mute it and see if it sounds any better when it's muted as well. So, how well can y'all hear that table talk? I'm just curious. How well can you hear it when I'm quiet? And then I'm also want to mute it and see if it sounds any better when it's muted as well. So,
Fucking $1 million free roll, dude. Pay out top 1,000 places.
No rebuys.
You get $100 worth of chips, $100 in value. Like so, you get like.
Dude, that'd be bad.
And the blinds start off at $1 and $2.
$1 million.
You're out.
$1 million free roll in here would be fucking awful. Someone would rip it all in on a bluff and get called and literally just like shoot themselves.
Oh, I know. Well, what would happen is like Evan would be like, all right, cool, I'll win this because like that's Evan, right? And then he'll lose it to like Louis or Owen Aaron.
Louis would be the best person to lose it to because that money's always going to be in play.
Yeah.
Runs it.
If Louis won that, he'd be like, let's play for 50K. Cash game.
Folds to John, he raises to 15.
Y'all want to do a $50,000 split?
Yeah, let's do a $40,000 flip.
folds. AJ calls.
All right, 3-3-5 on this flop. John versus AJ. 9s versus 8s. What a horrible flop for the 8s because you have all undercards hitting the board. And it looks like an 8 on the turn. Oh, man, so an 8 on the turn. And John is feeling really good at this point. You have all undercards hitting the board. And it looks like an 8 on the turn. Oh, man, so an 8 on the turn. Of course, AJ going to bet 40, and you can't blame him when he has 2 overs on the entire board. Oh, my gosh, and it's a 9. Oh, my gosh, how gross is this? All in and a call, and John is going to be just completely beside himself. And John is going to take his leave from the table. He is. He's got to walk that off. I don't know if he comes back or not, but he certainly is going to have to walk this one off. Good grief. AJ just lights out with the river cards, man. I mean, he is just putting them down. But he certainly is going to have to walk this one off. Good grief. AJ just lights out with the river cards, man. Wow. I mean, he is just putting. Oh, that's got to be disheartening. Are you kidding me, Quavo? Come on, that's all. That's pure skill on AJ's part. He knew it was coming. Wow. Wow. That is gross. Oh, so painful. Are you kidding me, Quavo? Come on, that's all. That's pure skill on AJ's part. He knew it was coming. Wow. That is gross. Oh, so painful. Wow. AJ's just not going to get any callers from here on out. That hurt me. Wow. AJ's just not going to get any callers from here on out. That hurt me.
Everything over 10.
Oh my gosh, that's gross. Well, AJ just doesn't need to look at his cards anymore. I mean, he might as well just play blind. Well, AJ just doesn't need to look at his cards anymore. I mean, he might as well just play blind. The terrible thing about that is it really does have an effect on the entire table, though. When one player can just get completely lucky, it makes it hard for the entire table to play. The terrible thing about that is when you see someone on that kind of run. just get completely lucky, it makes it hard for the entire table to play. When you see someone on that kind of run.
Like that's exactly what I was thinking.
For what percentage of his winning?
I know.
Wait, he wins.
I
If I jerk him
I
off.
don't know if he's gonna have a problem with that.
Like, I'm $3 million richer and spent $30 on this. It's great.
I know.
$3 million.
People out here with their Powerball tickets.
He gets this, he gets this
$1.75 billion. Man. A little over 700 million and some change for cash option.
He's not gonna pay you
Man.
until he's not to do it.
A little over 700 million and
Please
some
get away
change
from me.
And then I'm like, I'm richer than all.
cash option.
You just need to be one.
Oh my god, I want a big one. Yeah, that would be physical.
Pat gonna look down at an ace jack of clubs, and he is raising it to $15. And he's gonna get folded around all the way to Brian, who's gonna make the call. Haven't seen him fold a hand just about all night pre-flop. And it looks like we're gonna end up heads up. Dean does make the call, so we're three ways. And it's gonna be a king 10-4 on the flop, so Pat flopping the straight draw, but Bluff City going ahead and picking up a pair of tens. Oh, and a queen on the turn, so Pat with the straight. Well, that also brings Dean in now with a pair of queens, and he makes the call. Brian as well. And a river. The river 8 of clubs, so no help to anybody. Pat going to go ahead and push it pretty hard at $75 now. We'll see what... well, Brian's already insta-folded, and so Dean will go ahead and make the fold here. He's not going to be... I mean, he could think Pat's pushing hard on a 10, but I'd be really surprised if Dean makes this call. I mean, that's a... I mean, Pat does make it look like he's maybe pushing the 10. Dean looking like he's really willing to call here. He is thinking a lot about it. Pat does make it look like he's maybe pushing the 10. It's really a great bet by Pat because it does make it look like he was flopped maybe a 10. Got a little bit aggressive with it, trying to push off any drawers. And then when the river hits, he goes ahead and goes strong. But Dino does go ahead and think better of it. And he lays it down, which does not surprise me. Dean doesn't like to take too many silly risks. He likes to be a good steward of his chips. He lays it down, which does not surprise me. Dean doesn't like to take too many silly risks. He likes to be a good steward of his chips.
Like Chris said, he does it as an where that's where the idea came from. I mean, I asked the dude that's been trading in the past. That's where the money.
Without a doubt, 100%, Lou. There's no doubt about that. There was a time I used to think it would have been AJ, but he has certainly proven me wrong watching some of these games. With a 4 on the turn, Bluff City's still going to be in the lead here. I mean, excuse me, Pat's still in the lead with the pair of 9s. But Brian taking stabs at it. He certainly is not afraid to bluff. There is no doubt. He has got to have a queen and a queen only on the turn. Oh my gosh. And the river again. The river strikes again. Brian going to bet big here. Pat got to really decide because he has been betting all the way. The only thing that Pat sees is a 4, and he's not. He's going to make that call, and he's going to see that he was beat on the river. Oh my gosh. Wow, just another river strike. Boy, that river is just putting people out of their misery left and right. Or adding to their misery, I should say. Wow. AJ leading the way in chips with 1,200. Brian at 840. He has had to reload a couple of times. Rainbolt in the middle at 465 with Joey at 415. And Pat now at the tail end at 185. Kevin doing a great job in the box tonight. Like I said, we haven't seen him dealing in a while. We have seen him several times on the live stream. Now at the tail end at 185. Kevin doing a great job in the box tonight. Like I said, we haven't seen him dealing in a while. We have seen him several times on the live stream. Dino with his pair of 3s still leading the way. Excuse me, I'm sorry. No, Rainbolt with the pair of 9s and the flush draw leading the way. Dino with his pair of 3s still leading the way. Excuse me, I'm sorry. No, Rainbolt with the pair of 9s and the flush draw leading the way. With that 6 of clubs, still no help for anybody. And a River King. A River King's going to actually give the win to AJ. I'm not... Oh, yeah, because it was a queen on the river. I mean, a king on the river, excuse me. A River King's going to actually give the win to... AJ going to win that hand on the river. Oh, yeah, because it was a queen on the river. Kevin hitting that center with the burn card, so... Getting a little bit of a sneak peek of what goes into the burn and where certain cards were, occasionally. Kevin hitting that center with the burn card, so getting a little bit of a sneak peek of what goes into the burn and where certain cards were, occasionally. like we got calls around the table so far, with Pat and Rainbolt both folding, AJ making the call, and of course, Bluff City. Well, that is a terrible flop for me to just see. The devil is on the board, ladies and gentlemen, and a jack on the turn. A jack on the turn, no help for anybody. This thing's going to get checked all the way around unless you see a 3, 8, King, 10, and the 4th 6. So Dean now with the best hand possible at this point. Nobody even going to attempt it. Why not? I don't know why nobody bluffed at that hand. 4 6s on the board. Best hand possible at this point. Go from demons to the ranch. Nobody even going to attempt it. Why not? I don't know why nobody bluffed at that hand. 4 6s on the board. Go from demons to the ranch.
Smashed on the fucking river. I slowly looked at it like a couple weeks ago with quads on the board and I had ace high. I didn't fucking realize for like 45 seconds or something. I bet the river even raised me. And I sat there thinking about it for like a minute and I was like, oh my fucking god, I have the nuts.
Who had king high?
Snap that up.
Yeah. How much though? Not more than like
15.
Yeah, probably. I call it.
Or 1-5, but 1-5.
One time for the one time, baby. No giving to the future.
Call with a jack on the river.
King jack is still
I'm joking, Quavo. Why would anybody bluff when there's quads on the board? Come on, man. You can't even see me and you think I look that stupid. That's sad. Why would anybody bluff when there's quads on the board? Pat with a jack 10, king 10 for Dino. We have a 7, 8, jack 5 on the board, 2 clubs. So we do have a straight draw for Pat. And a straight draw for Joey, but it's going to be a 4 of spades on the river. And AJ just picking up wins with pocket deuces. So we do have a straight draw for Pat. And a straight draw for Joey, but it's going to be a 4 of spades on the river. And AJ just picking up wins with pocket deuces.
I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of this spot.
Oh my goodness. It's a good little 7-handed game we got going on here. These guys are, see the money changing hands, and that's all because AJ just cannot stop winning. The man cannot stop. I'm telling you. It's a good little 7-handed game we got going on here. These guys are, see the money changing hands, and that's all because AJ just cannot stop winning. The man cannot stop. I'm telling you.
What blinds are we doing? Here?
5 on the button.
18 big blinds in there.
Okay, folded. Charlie folded. Charlie called. It's a strap. No, it's a strap.
Buying pre-flop position just to see 60 offsuit. Let me fucking get rid.
There we go. Well, yeah, I know he's a
I was like,
This group of people's keeping this game going this strong. 7
you're seeing what we're playing. That's why pocket deuces just made it.
That was like, I folded the super winner.
Bride raises
whenever
to
he
10.
wants to.
Yeah.
That's what they've been saying all night.
Charlie raises
Did
to
you see the hand
25.
with John?
God damn it.
You haven't seen
Yeah,
that?
maybe,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah.
satisfied?
8 and 9. Yeah, that was.
Oh, no, I have not.
You need
I
to
guess
go.
I'll pay you off.
Yo, it's crazy.
I see
So
8,
never
7.
mind.
I see 8, 7.
Take that back.
Alright.
Who plays that shit?
Follow the button.
All right, after a nice break, AJ, of course, picking up another pot. So what do I come back to? Same thing as always. AJ winning just whenever he wants to. Chip stack up there, 1,300. Brian right behind him at 1,000. Dino down there at the bottom of the pot right now at $76. Chip stack up there. Kevin doing a great job in the box tonight. Like I said, hadn't seen him dealing in a while, but he always does a good job. Pat making the call for $5 with a 9-8. Kevin doing a great job in the box tonight. Like I said, hadn't seen him dealing. Joey on the button going to make the check with an ace-3 offsuit. Charlie with suited cards. And a king-9 of spades going to be on the flop with an ace. So Joey going to pick up the pair of aces. Of course, we don't know what Dean or AJ have. All we know at this point is that it's going to get a bet from Joey with the top pair. And Joey's going to pick up the pot. It's just that simple. All you got to do is bet. Hey, Lou, don't worry about me, buddy. All right, come on now. You write my checks. You pay my huge salary to do this job, buddy. Hey, Lou, don't worry about me, buddy. All right, come on now. I don't take breaks. I have discussions. Where are you at, Lou? How come you're not on this table? There's a seat wide open for you, buddy. Come on in. I don't take breaks. I have discussions. Where are you at, Lou? How come you're not on this table? There's a seat wide open for you, buddy. Come on in. And how about this? The Dodgers on the brink of elimination. Another 100-win team going to go down in a sweep. Brian with pocket 10 is going to 3-bet it up to 40 on Rainbolt, who has an ace-8. Rainbolt going to make that call. When you're as good as I am, Lou, you don't get docked. The time you get with me is always valuable, son. Come on. You're as good as I am, Lou. You don't get docked. Waiting to get this thing right. Let's see what they're going to do here. And Kevin with the flop. Burn. That's a burn card, Kevin. Yes, it is. That's what you do. You burn. Waiting to get this thing right. Let's see what they're going to do here. And Kevin with the flop. Burn. That's a burn card, Kevin. Yes, it is. That's what you do. I think you forgot how to deal. No, I'm sure they're having some sort of technical difficulties. But we have the cards right, so here we go now. You're gonna have, well, I said here we go. Easy. Ease up, buddy. Ease up. He's messing up the computer back there. Here we go now. All right, here we go to the flop. Pocket 10s versus ace-8, and it is going to be a 10-queen-9, 3 spades. Or is that a club in the middle? I think that's 3 spades. Nope, it is a club. So a 9-10-queen, 2 spades. Now there is a possible straight for Rainbolt. So a 9-10-queen, 2 spades. Rainbolt moving all in with a gutty. And he's going to get an insta-call here. Flopping the set. A 10, a jack needed, and he's not going to hit. So they are going to run it twice. They're going to run it 2 full boards. Oh my gosh, and nearly the same exact board. Wow. The 9, the only thing different on that board. 2 identical boards until the river. That is insane. Oh my gosh, and nearly the same exact board. Wow. The 9, the only thing different on that board. So we are 6-handed currently. Now don't forget we have our $8,000 guarantee tournament on Saturday. Football and sport. Football and poker. What more could you ask for? We have our $8,000 guarantee tournament on Saturday. Football and sport. Football and poker. What more could you ask for? Brian's done a good job of coming back. Rainbow going to look down now at pocket jacks. So he's going to hope to pick a few chips up. Brian's done a good AJ, job though, making the call with a jack 10. Rainbow going to look down now at pocket jacks. So Rainbow, with only one out. Pick a few chips up. AJ, though, making the call with a jack 10. Pat with cards we have not been able to see yet. Only one out. And we're going to see a 3-3 ace on the flop. So Pat now looking down from the barrel of a gun here. He is way behind, and so is AJ. And the turn is going to be an 8. 8 of clubs. So Pat now with a pair of 8s. So he has 8s and 3s. He's still way behind the pocket jacks. And AJ, 40 to call for him. I don't see him making this call. So Pat now with a pair of 8s. So he has 8s and 3s. And here we go to a river. Heads up to a river. Pat with a pair of 8s. And it is the case jack on the river. So with the case jack, Rainbow now with the boat. Jack's full of 3s. Pat making it a $40 bet. And it is the case jack. Rainbow putting on a show for him. Case jack. Rainbow now with the boat. Jack's full of 3s. Pat making it a $40 bet. Rainbow putting on a show for him. Doing everything he can to entice him. He does move all in, and Pat makes a snap call. And the jack on the river, of course, he had him all the way. So Pat was never in the lead there, but he doesn't know that when the 8 comes. He probably feels like he's got a good shot, that there's no ace. He took a stab at it, just an unfortunate turn of events. And it looks like Pat is going to take his lead from the table. Pat, it was good to see you. We'll see you again soon. If you guys are in here watching, go smash that like button and let us know you're watching. So Rainbow now back up to $610 in chips. And Dean down the bottom of the barrel here with $66. Joey right around the middle of the group with the six-player table at $370. Bottom of the barrel here was $66. Hand number 53 coming down your way now. AJ's going to be under the gun at $370. Hand number 53 coming down your way now. AJ's going to be under the gun. AJ going to go away with his cards. We didn't get to see him. It's going to get folded around. Looks like it'll probably get folded around to Dean. It does get folded around to Dean, and he does have a king 9, so he is going to make the call heads up. AJ going to go away with his cards. So we're now heads up to a flop. Rainbow's card's not shown at this point. Oh, it's a jack 7, excuse me. And it looks like we got a king queen 6. Quick bet there, and Dean's going to pick up a pot. Now heads up to a flop. Rainbow's card's not shown at this point. Oh, it's a jack 7, excuse me. And it looks like we got a king queen 6. Quick bet there, and Dean's going to pick up a pot. Brian standing up there looking into the cameras, giving us a good headshot there. Brian standing up there looking into the cameras, giving us a good headshot there. Well, AJ now, what are we doing here? Looks like we got... Well, AJ's going to be the button, so it's going to be $5, but it looks like everybody's putting in $5. I'm not sure what for. Well, AJ's going to be the button, so it's going to be $5, but it looks like everybody's putting in $5. I'm not sure what for.
I want no respect. comment
If
that
you
is left
get
of theirs.
fired, we're about to win the lottery.
See what we got going on here.
Do we scan them or no?
Looks like they're gonna play a bomb pot.
Man, I can't wait for somebody
$5 bomb pot. It looks like.
to fucking have that now.
See what we got going on here.
Oh no.
Looks like they're gonna play a bomb pot. I'll narrate this thing as best I can. We're not going to see everybody's cards here. Kevin trying to relay all the information, but I'll narrate this thing as there we go.
Best I can. We're not gonna
So King 7-5-4 for Charlie. Dean, not sure what he has.
relay all the information, but
And he's going to be a 8-9, ace, 2 diamonds, and a 5-7-9. So Charlie flopping 2 pair on the top and a straight draw on the bottom. I mean, on the Charlie with a straight draw on top and a 2 pair on the bottom with a straight draw as well. Back door. Not sure what Dean's got. Joey has got a King Queen 10-9. Just a pair of 9s for him. He does have a straight draw as well, but he only has 1 diamond. Charlie does have the diamond draw on top, but it is a pretty small one. Dean with the $30 bet.
Just a pair of 9s for him. He does have a straight draw as well.
Not sure what Dean's got going here.
Charlie does have the diamond draw on top. But it is
Got a call from Brian and a bet from AJ, and then a call from Joey. And so we got an ace on the turn and a 3 of diamonds on the turn on the bottom board.
got a call from Brian.
So we're 3 ways.
AJ, and then a call from Joey. So we got an ace on the turn and a 3 of diamonds on the turn on the bottom board.
Don't know what anybody's cards are here, but I would assume there's an 8 somewhere out there. And I would bet there's a 4-6-8. So there is the 8-6 for the big straight. And Bluff City with the top board with a pair of aces. I mean, with trip. Actually, AJ has a boat. He has aces full of 8s. Bluff City also with aces full of 8s. So it looks like Brian just might be getting quartered here unless Dean has an ace-9, which is impossible. There are only 4 aces in a deck, if anybody didn't know that.
Looks like
Jack of clubs, so no straight flush. And a 6 on the river, a bottom. So AJ's going to pick up 3/4 of this pot. He is going to have the aces full of 8s on top, and he's going to have the straight on bottom. Brian, however, going to be getting 1/4 of this pot, so he actually will lose chips on this hand. And Dean, we don't see what his cards are, but Dean is out. Looks like he is not going to take any portion of this pot at all. Getting 1/4 of this pot, so he actually will lose chips on this hand. And Dean take any portion of this pot at all.
She didn't clock you out. She just said she didn't. She just
Why?
said
I
it.
hate this game.
How much is it?
I bought it for
Big
$4.20.
chipset price.
They're all stacked. They're full stack.
It's like 1,000.
800.
Joey Charlie Folds. I mean, you can see all the odd shit.
Who's
Actually,
Joey?
right?
Hmm?
You think so?
Pump it up.
Raise it to 25.
Alright.
Pull up
Shows 7 dudes.
the master class.
No, I feel like
Well, Aaron's
Kansas.
coming in. Yes. Aaron's coming in for sure.
Is
No,
that the guy
there's no
that was
seat.
playing the other night when he was drinking and stuff?
Hello, sir.
That's the one you were talking about, man.
Who is that guy?
Seems like a cool dude.
That?
I've never seen him.
His name's Albert.
Albert.
Albert Romero.
Albert Lace.
No, the young kid's name's Aaron.
Aaron Hernandez. Rest in peace.
Didn't he get sent to Egypt? Are you talking about
But
someone else, I
not,
guess?
don't,
I'm at
don't
the
try to
league.
beat him late.
I know.
Man, the Cubs are not coming
I
today.
put
No,
Alex
at
on.
least
They're not coming today.
we want
Cards.
Alex to come in.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta make shit happen, dude.
Yeah,
Okay, yesterday.
I
Like,
can,
okay,
I
yes.
can play Alex and hold him.
I won
can't
but
play
on
him.
one hand,
But I want to play.
no flop on flop.
Yeah,
Sometimes
we don't want to fuck up.
Sometimes it's better than getting ace king
Yeah,
suited,
fold it around.
putting in a lot of money for you and then breaking everything and then blasting off.
What?
Sometimes it's better.
I need to hear it. What?
Alex
I wanna do this so you guys.
I mean,
plays Omaha for a while.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll probably, yeah, I'll just deal it.
I think he'd like to think opposite.
What?
Yeah,
No, I'm talking about
He
him again.
represents
He can think of
a
it.
lot of the time, and that's why he gets paid off whenever he does have it.
What? Why is she telling you?
After you call.
Hello. AJ keeps the river and everybody.
And it could get real interesting here with an ace of clubs hitting the board.
Yeah.
Of course, now with the 4 on the board, Brian going to stay active with it, but I doubt AJ keeps going with it.
Could get real interesting here with an ace of clubs.
I'd be surprised if he does, unless he decides to make a bluff, at which point
Now with the 4 on the board,
I don't know that Brian goes away.
I'm going to stay active with it, but I doubt AJ keeps going.
AJ does make the call,
I'd be surprised if he does, unless he decides to make a bluff, at which point
and it is a king of hearts, so
Brian goes away.
harmless little king. You're going to see probably a check here from AJ, and a bet here from Brian, and a fold from AJ. Oh, no, he does. He makes the call.
And it is a king
He does
of
make the
hearts.
call.
Harmless little king. You're going to see probably a check here from AJ and a bet here from Brian. Oh, no, he does. He makes the call.
Yeah.
He does make the call.
Damn, I'm.
So Lou, what's your prediction on this series? I know you said the Rangers are going to win it all, but what's your how many games? How many games are the Rangers going to take it in?
Lou, what's your prediction on this series? I know you said the Rangers are going to win it all, but what's your how many
In
games
your
do you
less
think
than
the
humble
Rangers are
opinion.
gonna take it in?
than humble opinion. Gonna welcome Alex and Aaron to the table. Got a pair of fives for Rainbolt. He is ahead with a pair of fives. Let's see what Aaron here, coming in strong. He is looking to win some chips right off the bat. He wants to set the tone. See what Aaron here, coming in strong. He is. Wow, Alex making this call with just a pair of fours. Oh my goodness. Wow, Alex making this call with just a pair of fours. Rainbolt with the disgust. He realizes his pair of fives is going to win that ham.
200 players chips.
So Aaron, rather than making a statement and taking a win on the table, gets called by Alex. I don't know if Alex has played this man before, but I don't think I've ever seen him. And Aaron, rather than making a statement and taking a win on the table, I'm telling you, I don't know that I would make that kind of investment, but it paid off for Alex. Good job, Alex. What a call. That kind of investment, but it paid off for Alex. Good job, Alex. What a call.
I just tried to make an amazing call and I was right-handed. I was wrong and right.
It was a good call, but definitely a dangerous call. When you're up against a player you've not familiar with. If I'm not mistaken, this is a new player. But definitely and an ace-6-6, so AJ flopping the trip sixes. And yes, I'm going to call it a set, whether y'all like it or not. Alex being aggressive with his pair of threes. Does not realize what he does not know what AJ's been doing all night to everybody, so. Oh, and it is a three on the turn, and AJ may not be doing it to the table, but good grief. AJ is getting so lucky tonight. He gets the three to get Alex hung up in here. Wow. But Alex with the bolt. Alex here with the boat. So Alex is ahead. But let's see if AJ can go ahead and have some more river magic. Wow. But Alex with the bolt. He needs a queen or an ace. So Alex is ahead. And he does not get it. So maybe the AJ magic has run out. Alex with the all-in. $430 it looks like. Excuse me, $440. Wow, what a laydown this will be for AJ because I don't know that he can do it. That's a tough laydown because it's hard to see anybody having the boat and slow playing it. I don't know that he can do it. That's a tough laydown because it's hard to see anybody having the boat. Wow. And slow playing it. What a laydown from AJ. Great fold. That's a tough laydown. And a very disciplined fold. That's a tough laydown. A very disciplined fold.
Imagine he flips over 4-5. He's betting that much. Turn straight over after betting the flop.
At the very least, I have ace. And he knows that I'm fat.
Aaron going to make the $15 call with a 7-6. He actually raises it to 15. Excuse me. Alex with a 5-3 of clubs going to make the call. Alex not one to have a low VPIP, that's for sure. And AJ looking down at pocket nines, just flats. So he's hoping to catch someone napping with a 9 on the flop. There's an ace jack 3, so Alex with a pair of 3s. The board sets up nice for Alex to make a stab at this. Same for Aaron. Brian, however, does pick up the flush draw on the flop. And he could be aggressive with that. And I wouldn't blame him, but he does check it. There's a 7 of spades, so no help. Pair of 7s for Aaron now. Aaron does have the pair of 7s, but he is not leading the way. And Alex not going. AJ not going away on his pair of 9s just yet. Pair of 7s for Aaron now. Aaron does. And it is a queen of hearts on the river, so a red queen, but not the one he was wanting to see. However, the queen is going to put him in the driver's seat. Now you're going to get a $55 bet here from Aaron. Now he has already shown once that he's willing to bluff, and he's going to get caught again with the pair of queens from Brian. And yes, Brian picked it up on the river, but Aaron having showed that early indicator that he's willing to bluff at pots, it's going to get him called at this table quite a bit. Brian picked it up on the river, but Aaron having showed that early indicator that he's willing to bluff at pots, it's going to get him called at this table quite a bit. Well, Ramiro, even when he does lose a hand, he finds a way to get off a tough hand. So it saves him some chips. I don't know a whole lot of players that make that fold right there with that 6 in their hand. Not with the way that played out. So it saves him some chips. I don't know a whole lot of players that make that fold right there with that 6 in their hand. Not with the way that played out. Rainbow with a raise of $20 to $25 with an ace 10. Joey with a jack 9 of clubs making that call as well. So it looks like we're going to be 4 ways to a flop. 3 ways to a flop, excuse me. Queen 7-3, no help to anybody's hand that stayed in. So it looks like we're going to be 4 ways to a flop. 3 ways to a flop, excuse me. Queen 7-3, no help to anybody's hand that stayed in. Don't forget, if you're in here watching, go ahead and like that. Hit that like button.
200 players, chat.
Help push the content out there, and just let us know you watched. Don't forget, if you're in here watching, go ahead and like that. So now Brian has taken over the chip lead, as AJ lost himself a couple of $100 on those 2 hands. He is now in second place with 1,100 in chips. So now Brian has taken over the chip lead. AJ lost himself a couple of $100 on those 2 hands. He is now in second place with 1,100 in chips. I'm not sure who. I think the button is Alex. No, excuse me. Charlie is the button. And we have a new player sitting down here in the 4 seat. We had a $10 straddle, and we have 4 players going to the flop. There's going to be an ace 4-8 on the flop. So pair of 8s for Brian now. He's going to pick up the lead in the hand. Charlie, however, with a pair of 4s, but he does go away. Alex with a jack 10 going to go away as well, so we're heads up on the turn. And that jack of clubs now does bring in the flush possibility for Aaron, but it is a 5 of hearts on the river. Aaron here going up against Brian again, and Brian just unwilling to believe that the man has a hand, but the man is bluffing consistently. Consistently bluffing. And Brian just unwilling to believe that the man has a hand, but the man hard to win a hand that way. Consistently bluffing. that way.
Whenever you get cards, you just want to glaze over that just so you can read it. Nice trick.
And Charlie with the triple twos when it comes to chip count. He is at 222. Charlie with the triple twos when it comes to chip count. He's at 222. Brian now the bank at the table, passing out change. Rainbow going to look down at pocket fours, so let's see what he does with that. He makes just a flat call. No, he doesn't. He raises to 15. Excuse me. So he does raise to 15. AJ just missing his chance to see his hand. Of course, we don't get to know what it is either. And Aaron with the 9-5 going to make the call. And a 3-6-8 on the flop. So now Aaron with the gut shot straight draw. This will be $15, and he is going to fold off of that bet. So Rainbow going to pick up a small pot here. So now Aaron with the gut shot straight draw. $15, and he is going to fold off of that bet. So Rainbow going to pick up a small pot here.
Do we freeze?
We didn't freeze. I'm still here.
The straddle's on Aaron.
I was like, we're still alive.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure what they're doing.
Take the money back, new hand.
Yeah. Fuck. I get the dead money. You can just have your
Joey
money
made
back.
it. Joey made it 40. AJ and Brian call. AJ checks. Brian checks.
Alright, I'm gonna let him have one free card.
Joey checks.
That way I can hit something. He's gonna change it to a
What
different
is it,
one.
AJ?
Red queen.
To a red queen?
Oh, king. Sorry, I thought it was a queen.
Yeah. 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 Check. Check. Checks around. AJ bets 55. Brian folds. Joey folds. Thank you.
You're calling
He's,
that, right?
he's calling my continuation relative.
Huh?
You're calling bets on the flop and thing.
Aaron straddling for 10.
I was like, I say,
Yeah, like something happened here, man.
I almost started to say.
I knew I outflopped you both. I had an 8.
I like
When
that.
it, when it checked to me, I was like,
I hear
I
you.
am not betting that fucking hand.
I just-
I literally almost said that
Yeah.
out loud.
I was like, on the river, I was like, alright, what looks real fucking like I'm just trying to steal this pot? I almost went 75. 75 might get high.
Thanks, Gus. I'll get after
Starting over here. $10 straddle.
You're wrong, my friend.
Alex calls. Aaron.
Now, just under 2 hours left with you guys here. So we got Sean here in the seat now between Joey and Charlie in the 4 seat. Or the 5 seat, excuse me. We are 6-handed to the flop. 7-handed to the flop. The ace-6 giving Rainbow the pair of aces and Sean a pair of sixes. We are 6-handed to the flop. 7-handed to the flop. Not sure who. Ace-6 giving Rainbow the pair. Oh, I guess Charlie has changed his name to Meloso. and a king on the turn. So Alex and Joey now with a pair of kings, but they are behind. Joey, however, picking up the straight draw. Well, Joey and Alex both. And a king on the turn. So Alex and Joey now with a pair of kings, but they are $105. Joey, however, picking up the straight draw. Well, Joey and Alex both. Excuse me, Aaron has changed his name to Meloso. Aaron has changed his name to Meloso. What's Joey going to do here? Joey's going to go ahead and lay down his pair of kings. And he does win that pot. Charlie's still at $200. Well, he's not at $222. We don't have any singles on the table, so. Charlie's still at $200. Well, he's not at $222. We don't have any singles on the table, so.
We don't give up on players when they get hurt. Brian calls, Joey folds, Nestor calls, Charlie folds. What? Aaron folds.
Guess who else I have, AJ?
Alex makes it 25. Logan folds.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
I have a bunch of players.
AJ makes it 80.
So AJ 3-betting to $80 here with a pair of kings.
Well, it was bigger until you showed up and then you took some.
If he's not picking up big pre-flop hands, he's certainly flopping big hands. So AJ 3-betting to $80 here with a pair of kings. AJ certainly has not missed much tonight, that's for sure. If he's not picking up big pre-flop hands, he's certainly flopping big hands. AJ certainly has not missed much tonight, that's for sure.
Depends on what the flop is.
Better. You don't have to hit anything.
AJ certainly has not missed much tonight, that's for
When the ace comes out, you gotta hit.
Yeah, then when the ace comes out, you're like, fuck. I can't fold.
How can I get away from that?
Yes, I call.
Aaron
Please
straddles
have
for
a 10.
10.
We were talking about initials right before that hand.
Alex
and
folds.
KK is my daughter's initials, so I knew I was gonna win that hand.
Logan folds. AJ calls. Brian calls. 50. Joey makes it 50. Nestor folds.
That didn't work last time.
Charlie folds. Aaron folds.
Huh?
Why does anyone AJ calls?
Well, that's what you're here for. Well, that's what you're here for.
Brian calls.
We're trying to play 5.
Same two.
Oh,
Same
God.
comment.
You saw how short stack on was on one day?
I
Don't
wanted
do that
to
to me again. You want it?
I didn't want to.
Joey checks. AJ checks. Brian checks. Joey bets 50. AJ folds.
A very small
Brian
hand.
folds.
And if that was the board on your king hand,
Well, let's see how this turns out. We got Ace Jack with AJ. AJ with an Ace Jack. And Brian with an Ace King. Meloso with a 7-6 and Sean with a 7-5. So, oh, and a 5-5-6 on the flop. Wow. So Meloso flops trip sixes. Sean with a pair of fives, but the backdoor straight draw. Of course, Meloso has the backdoor as well. Sean betting the $35. Let's see what Meloso does here. See if he does flat call it. Sean with a pair of fives, but the backdoor straight draw. Of course, Meloso has the backdoor as well. Sean betting the $35. Folds here from AJ, and Brian going to show those cards. He's going to let them go as well. He knows what he's walking into. A deuce on the turn, so no help for anybody. Meloso still ahead, so at this point, Sean is no chance to win this hand. He does check. Aaron with the $65 bet, and I cannot imagine Sean making this call here, but he could take a chance at it. He does make the call. And we are going to a river. A 5 would be a very gross river card here. And it is not. It is a jack of spades. AJ probably thinking that he would have come out on top here, but he won't when he sees it. And a check to the river. Meloso making the check when he's last to act. Wow. Very shocking in my opinion. There's no way I'm checking that back. I'm going to make someone pay something to see those cards. Wow. Very shocking in my opinion. AJ back in front with 1,200 in chips. Brian right behind him at 1,100. And Meloso back up to 865, so he has picked up a few hands. AJ back in front with 1,200 in chips. Brian right behind him at 1,100. And Meloso back up to 865, so he has picked up a few hands. We are 8-handed. We again with Charlie and as a 5-3 and Meloso with a 6-3. These two guys had just going to try to have as close to hands as possible the rest of the night. Alex with a raise to $20 and a call from Rainbolt. Alex with pocket aces. A pretty nice hand. Not a bad hand. AJ making the call with a king deuce of spades. Oh, and a king queen 5. So Alex now still ahead with his pocket aces, of course. Rainbolt picking up a straight draw and AJ with the top pair. Alex, of course, with a $35 continuation bet. Alex now still ahead with his pocket aces. Rainbolt going away with his gutty. Of course, he knows his gutty could be beat easily with an ace 10 anyway. But AJ making the call. $35 continuation bet. So here we go to a turn. And a turn is a 10. Wow. So Rainbolt actually hitting his straight. And it is a 4. So no help. AJ is behind. Alex going to make the $50 bet. And Rainbolt looks like he's taking his lead from this game as well. So Rainbolt going to go ahead and head on out. Alex going to make the $50 bet. And Rainbolt looks like he's taking his lead from this game as well. So Rainbolt going to go ahead and head on out. The Dodgers trying to fight back. It's now 4-2. No, I don't think it was a snap call. Dodgers trying to fight back. It's now 4-2. I think it was actually a snap fold from AJ. No, I don't think it was a snap call. So the Dodgers trying to fight back. They're now down 2 runs, 4-2 in the middle of the 7th. Trying to fight back. They have 6 more outs to come back and force a game 4. queen of clubs on the turn. I mean, on the river there. I mean, it could bring in the flush, a discussion about the flush, but right now, Joey with the pair of jacks. He's obviously the winner. Charlie going to check, and Joey going to check it back to him, and Joey's going to take this pot.
A discussion about the flush. Right now, Joey with the pair of jacks. He's obviously the winner. Charlie going to check, and Joey going to check it back to him, and Joey's going to take this pot.
Brian calls. Joey makes it 15.
So Joey with a king queen. He's going to be heads up here. Excuse me, not heads up. Meloso in there as well. Yeah, 9 of spades on the turn, or 9 of clubs on the turn, excuse me. No help for anybody. See if Brian decides to live up to his name. He's not going to. And Meloso actually did make a bet there and got 2 folds.
Actually did make a bet there and got 2 folds.
So Bluff City now with a big slick suited. He's got spades. See how it comes around. Charlie with an ace-10 going to make the call. I mean, he's actually going to 3-bet it. He's going to 3-bet it up to $200 here. So it's going to get folded around. He is all in for $195. Excuse me. All in for $195. I cannot imagine Brian going away here, but I mean, at this point with only 2 people, he does make the call, and it is an ace. Ace-10 versus ace-king.
Imagine Brian going away here, but I mean, at this point with only 2 people, he does make the call, and it is an ace. Ace-10 versus ace-king.
It looks like they're going to run it twice. I can't really tell, but the way Kevin's pushing that board is a 5 on the turn and a 9 of clubs on the river. They are running it twice, so 2 full boards.
It looks like they're going to run it twice. I can't really tell, but
And it is a king-queen, so pair of kings, but a jack gives him the straight. And it is going to be all for Charlie on that hand. He is going to get felted, and Brian's going to pick up another pot. So Brian moving back into the chip lead over AJ at 1,400 in chips. He is playing out of the rack, so I'm assuming he's going to be making the decision to go here pretty quick. He has climbed his way out of the cellar. Those of you that have been watching the entire time or watched some earlier saw Brian had a tough go of it early. Frustrating time. But he has clawed his way back. He had pocket queens against pocket aces and with AJ earlier and ran 2 boards, and on both boards AJ hits an ace. So that's how life was going for Brian earlier. Joey now with a king 10 offsuit going to make the call. here we go to a flop.
That's how life
And it is a king 3-4. So Alex with a pair of fours, Joey with a pair of kings. Joey going to bet out for $10 and going to get called by Alex. So we're heads up now. And a 6 on the turn. So Alex now picking up the straight draw. He is picking up the open-ended straight draw. So a 2 or a 7 is going to give it to him. Joey does bet $20. Alex here just making the call. I almost would make it 40 or 50 if it were me, and I was in Alex's position. But that's just because I'm a gambler, and there you go. 2 pair for Joey. The straight does not come, and I would have lost an extra 40 or 30 or $40. A $75 bet from Joey, and of course Alex is not going to get him to go anywhere, that's for sure. So he does go ahead and make the fold. A $75 bet from Joey, and of course Alex is not going to get him to go anywhere, that's for sure. So he does go ahead and make the fold.
Over here, to me, hit me first.
Alex with the hearts on Jack 9 of hearts. He raises up to 20, and AJ's going to make the call with a pair of threes. Brian kind of back to his old self there, making the call with the 10 deuce. Alex picking up the straight with the flush draw, so he is in a monster position. Going to have a 3 and another card to hit the board to pair it. With the flush draw, so he is in a monster position. Oh, and a deuce. Well, it was almost a 3. AJ almost had a reason to stay, but I believe a bet from Alex here gets him fold, but Alex does check it. It is an ace on the river. Alex with a $75 bet. Let's see what AJ decides to do here. He really should quickly get out of the way on this hand. I mean, he has absolutely no reason unless he thinks Alex is bluffing. At which point do you call or do you raise? For his sake, he should do neither. Unless he thinks Alex is bluffing, at which point do you call or do you raise? He does make the call. Wow. For his sake, he should do neither. Wow. It's a bit of a surprise. I would have just didn't see AJ making that call, but he did. Wow. It's a bit of a surprise. I would have just didn't see AJ making that call, but he did. Yes, I do believe AJ's lost his mind. It's the Coors Light, I believe, that's helping him along here. So Charlie now all in for 100. He pushes all in with a king 10, and he's going to pick up a little bit of a pot here. No one with really anything worthy of calling, or I think he might have gotten a call.
So Charlie now all in for 100. He pushes all in with a king 10, and he's going to pick up a little bit of a pot here. No one with really anything worthy of calling, or I think he might have gotten a call.
Jack deuce 6, so Bluff City picking up the pair of jacks. However, he picks up a flush draw as well, but he does not want to see that flush hit, that's for sure.
Jack deuce 6.
Sean going to make the call for $20, and can't blame him.
Pair of jacks.
Meloso going to get out of the way, and of course AJ, we don't know what he has, but he's going to get out of the way as well.
See that flush hit, that's for
So Brian really does not want to see a diamond hit the board here.
blame him. Meloso gonna
And it is 7 of clubs, so the 7 of clubs here. Brian's still ahead, and it is a deuce on the river. So Jackson deuces for Brian, and Brian's going to throw out $20 there.
7 of clubs.
Sean with nothing to speak of at all. I mean, not even a pair. He has just an ace high, cannot make that call.
Deuce on the river. So Jackson deuces for Brian, and Brian's going to throw out $20 there. Sean with nothing to speak of at all. I mean, not even a pair. He has just an ace high, cannot make that call.
A 2 on the turn, and that's not going to do any good for anybody. Sean, though, hoping to see that 5. Alex with pocket queen, still kind of playing it slow with all the undercards. So a 5 here would really be rough. Of course, a 4 as well would be very rough. So Sean going to make the bet. He does just have the the wheel draw. But he is going to make the bet of $35. Alex is definitely not going to go anywhere, but this could be the position where Alex raises to see where he's at and gets the folds, and that is going to be the case. So Meloso had made the call with a pair of 4s, but Alex with that raise to 150 seems to have confused Meloso. He's not real sure he likes that, but this is where he's makes a good fold here. He's got to think about the fact that it's got to be an overpair.
Confused Meloso. He's not real sure he likes that, but this is where he makes a good fold here. He's got to think about the fact that it's got to be an overpair.
Well, don't forget that we do have our Saturday $8,000 guarantee going on during football season. Alex with Pocket Jacks here. That is a $120 buy-in, $100 rebuys, and then you can have up to 2 add-ons at the break. But that has been a great tournament for us. And then Tuesday night is our $3,000 guarantee at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. 125 max or 120 max buy-in, $45 min buy-in. We also have our bankroll builders on the weekends on Saturday and Sunday nights at 7 p.m. as well. Every day, doors open at 1 p.m. The games go until they shut down, until the games actually end. We've actually had several games going until about 8 o'clock in the morning the last couple of weeks. So always check on Poker Atlas to see if we've got a table going. If you're not a member, memberships are $20 for a lifetime membership. And, of course, you have your daily access fee of $5. Memberships are $20 for a lifetime. Going to get a fold here from Brian. And Meloso with a 8-9. He's just going to make the fold as well. And Alex going to pick up another stack, another $10. Here from Brian. Meloso with a 8-9. He's just going to make the fold as well. And Alex going to pick up another stack, another $10. And a 10 ace 8 on the flop. We're going to have a bomb pot here. Excuse me. 10 8 ace on the top board with a 2 3 5 on the bottom board. Be amazingly shocked if you didn't see a straight here. You got 2 pair for Meloso with the straight draw. A 6 on the turn for the top board, but a king on the bottom. So Meloso could have picked up a straight. Be amazingly shocked if you didn't see a straight here. You got 2 pair for Meloso with the straight draw. 6 on the turn. Of course, now we don't know what anybody has. So Meloso could have picked up a straight. Of course, now we don't know what anybody has. With an ace and a king coming up on the top board and the bottom board, that puts a pair of aces on the top and a pair of kings on bottom. So opens the door to boats really quickly here in a bomb pot. So a great hand here would be an ace 10 king 5 would be a wonderful hand to have. Opens the door to boats. It's like Meloso definitely has an ace in his hand. We just don't know what he has to go with it. Great hand here would be an ace 10 king 5 would be a wonderful hand to have. It's like Meloso definitely has an ace in his hand. We just don't know what he has to go with it. So trying to see what everybody has here. We just can't really tell. All I see is that people are betting, chips are coming in, chips are being split up, and it looks like Alex got part of this hand, and probably, Meloso got part of this hand, or Alex won, and then Brian got the other part. And that is going to be it for Brian. Brian's going to take his leave. He is going to go out a winner, I do believe. He was in for a little bit more than just one single buy-in, but it looks to me like he's going to walk out of here a winner. So congratulations, Brian. Nice to see you climb out of the hole there. That you were in early on anyway. Just one single buy-in, but it looks to me like he's going to walk out of here a winner. So congratulations, Brian. Nice to see you climb out of the hole there. That you were in early on anyway.
See a $10 strategy.
With two clubs and an 8-7 deuce on the flop, Sean's going to still be, he's going to be behind here, the pair of sevens from AJ. AJ going to bet out here on the button. He does have two hearts, and no hearts on the board, and it's going to get folded around to him, and he is going to pick up that $30 pot. AJ going to bet out here on the button. He does have two hearts, and no hearts on the board, and it's going to get folded around to him, and he is going to pick up that $30 pot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm trying to teach these guys, man. I'm trying to show them the way.
Aaron's strategy.
If I win, it's substantially less.
Never mind, Brian. Alex folds.
So Alex folds with cards unseen. AJ, however, going to call $10, and Joey with pocket sixes. We've seen this multiple times. Pocket pair with another one of the outs in someone else's hand. Charlie, though, with a queen jack, he is going to move all in. And I don't see Joey making this call. Can't imagine that he does. Charlie, though, with a queen jack, he is going to move all in. And I don't see Joey making this call. Can't imagine that he does. And Joey with the call, he does make the call. So all in for Charlie. Joey making the call, and we're going to be heads up here. Of course, Charlie a slight favorite. He is actually a slight favorite over the pocket pair of sixes. He has more outs and he has overs. And he does hit the queen on the flop. And that's going to be it. So Charlie going to double up through Joey. Maybe that. Nope, they are running it twice. I apologize. They are running it twice. So we'll see what happens here. And that's going to be it. So Charlie going to double. And a jack on the flop. 3 spades, though. 3 spades, however, I do believe that Joey... No, he does not. He has a 6 of clubs. So in 2 boards, Charlie's hand holds up. He wins with a pair of queens, and then he wins with a pair of jacks. 3 spades, though. So Charlie with the true double up through Joey.
No, he does not. He has a 6 of clubs. So in 2 boards, Charlie's hand...
Just over an hour left with you guys here. Alex now leading the way in chips at 1,100. AJ at 930. He's lost a few of his chips. He was up to around 1,300 earlier. And Sean bringing up the tail end at $95.
Here, Alex now leading the way in chips at 1,100. AJ at 930. He's lost a few of his chips. He was up to around 1,300 earlier. And Sean bringing up the tail end at $95.
So Meloso with the queen 2. He has nothing. Let's see if he decides to bluff. He is going to bluff, and AJ's going to make the snap call, and he is going to win the 240 in chips. Amazing. This guy is... Meloso is definitely not one to shy away from betting. He does not scare easily when it comes to bluffing. He has no problem with that. AJ, of course, having no problem calling when he really thinks he has the best hand. So AJ now taking back over the chip lead. He's got 1,200 in chips. Alex right behind him at 1,100. Meloso with 530, still doing pretty well. Joey at 320, Charlie at 300, and Sean at $95. We are back down to 6-handed.
He's got 1,200 in chips. Alex right behind him at 1,100. Meloso with 530, still doing pretty well. Joey at 320, Charlie at 300, and Sean at $95. We are back down to 6-handed.
All right, we're going to go heads up to the flop, and it's going to be a 6-8-4 on the flop. So Meloso now with a pair. Alex, of course, with cards we can't see. He's going to check it down to
We're going to go heads up to the flop.
Aaron, and Aaron going to bet $20. Alex going to go away, so I would assume he caught none of that and had no overs, or one over maybe.
He's going to check it down to Aaron, and Aaron going to bet $20. Alex going to go away, so I would assume he caught none of that and had no overs, or one over maybe.
Alex with a king 4 going to go away, and of course AJ with a 10-6. Always willing to call with less than the best when it comes to cards. He always seems to hit very well, though. He'll hit that flop with a couple of spades, maybe a straight flush draw. No, but he does hit the pair of 10s right off the flop. Now he is notched right now by Sean with a 10-7, but if anybody can bet their way out of that, that's going to be AJ. Meloso with the 8-3, he has one heart in his hand, and he's not going to stay for anything on that. And to the turn is going to be a jack. So AJ with an opportunity here to possibly push Sean out. He does bet 15. Or he does, yeah, he bets 15. And Sean with the quick call. So that could slow AJ down on the river. Unless it's a 10, which doesn't matter. Sean, of course, still ahead with the 7 kicker. So as of right now, the 7 kicker is actually winning this hand. AJ needing something bigger than a 7 to hit. And it is an 8. So it is going to go check, check. And they are going to chop this pot. Check, check, and they are going to chop this pot.
Like every time I hit, every time it crosses the dealer.
Honestly, I'm cool with playing bump. I never fucking push them.
I'm okay with that, but to make it fair, should we just do a button then going backwards and not do no flop? That way everybody gets the button.
I go by in. Is that allowed?
If we could get security in there to get onto AJ and let him know not to reach into the tray, that would be great. AJ testing the patience of our security staff. There she is. There's security staff right there. Getting on to AJ. AJ enjoying himself. And he has a 7-4. And it is $5 to call. He is the dealer. And he is going to make the call. So there was a straddle for 10. And it is going to get back around. Aaron was the one to straddle for $10 here. So we have a 7-4, 10-5, Queen 4, and Alex's cards we have not been able to see. And it is a queen on the flop that's going to take the lead in this pot. A queen for Aaron. He's going to double check and make sure he thinks he has what he thinks he has. Alex, of course, going to check. I would guess that Alex probably has none of that. It is a queen on the turn. So almost assuredly he doesn't. He does check, and Alex does put out a little bit of a $15 feeler. And here is Meloso going to make the raise. Oh, and Alex going to make the call. So what do we have here? Alex with a straight draw, maybe. Maybe he does have a 9 in his hand. And a river ace. The ace of spades. So if Alex has 2 spades in his hand, it could be getting gross. $75 bet here from Aaron. Alex really thinking about it. I don't think Alex really has much of anything. Just by the way he's looking, he could. It looks more like he really is thinking about what the possibilities are. He could have a weak queen, but I don't know that he would be thinking this hard. I think even with a weak queen here, I think he makes the call fairly quickly. With 2 spades being on the flop, he really could put a lot of stock in the fact that Aaron could have the flush. But we do not know. We don't get to know what Alex had. He is going to tell him, he is going to allow him to pick one, and he gets to show him the 4. He does get to show him the 4. Alex looking at that now, probably thinking, did he really have the queen, or did he bluff the flush? Alex knows he had the queen. Looking at that now, probably thinking, did he really have the queen, or did he bluff the flush? Alex knows he had the queen. Looks like we're going to see a $5 bomb pot here. Aaron going to take a quick step outside.
How much are you adding on here?
Looks like we're going to see a $5 bomb pot here. Aaron going to take a quick step outside. So again, I'll walk through this hand as best I can, as long as we're not getting an accurate reading on the cards. For those of you that are baseball fans, the Diamondbacks sweep the Los Angeles Dodgers out of the playoffs. Those of you that are baseball fans, the Diamondbacks sweep the Los Angeles Dodgers out of the playoffs.
Just in case there's a bet, I might be back in time to make that.
I waited for a while.
I'm over here trying to give you guys more fucking money.
We were waiting on them.
Hey, Grace.
I thought we waited as long as we did.
I mean, I asked you guys before I.
I waited all the way until I heard the money coming out of the machine, and then I just checked the money.
I asked before I.
But were you gonna bet something on the pot?
How much?
I was gonna
How much?
raise it.
Hey, Grace.
The only thing I'm worried about is
Joseph.
how much. How much did you tip?
Target.
There was only $30 in the pot.
All right, looks like we have a new player in the game. Is that Cade? Looks like maybe Caden in the game.
Yeah, he damn sure does.
Aaron straddled.
Looks
I'll
like
take first.
Alex called.
maybe Caden in the game.
Joey calls. After his all in for 70 to nothing.
For 70?
Grace, do you think you give me a break?
Give you some action, man.
It's
Is it twice or?
it's all good. Alright, good luck on this one.
Four.
Alright, Alex called.
Is it?
Oh, he's got another card.
Yeah, I got another card.
He's got
Can you
another
scan your other
4 or
card?
the ace of clubs.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Y'all probably
Damn,
chop
I was
him.
gonna win this one. No way.
Y'all chop so much.
Sean all in with an ace-6, so we're going to run it twice, and an ace-4 for Alex. So ace, ace, queen, jack, king. That's a split pot for the top. Sean all in with an ace-6, so we're going to run it twice. And a split pot on bottom. So ace, ace, queen, jack, king. That's a split pot for the top. And a split pot on bottom. Alex going to move around to the 1 seat after AJ takes his leave. Or did he just move into the 2 seat? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Uno momento. Around to the 1 seat after AJ takes his leave.
You are probably double straddle me.
I would definitely.
Move into the 2 seat.
He's got 245.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Uno momento.
This is how I make my money.
Thank you, sir.
AJ still in the 1 seat. Alex with a pair of jacks, though, stepping right in and taking that hand from Caden. AJ with a king 10. Alex in the 3-bet it up to $40. Or raise it up to $40, excuse me. Caden with cards we didn't get to see. He folds. Joey folds as well. Folds around and going to get a call here from AJ. And it is going to be a 10-9-6 on the flop. AJ flopping top pair from the board. But Alex ahead still with $60 bet and pocket jacks. So a king or a 10 for AJ is what he needs. All of his outs are still in the deck. He's going to be a 7 of clubs, however. So that does bring in the possibility of a straight, a 4-card straight. It's going to be a check, check, and a jack on the river. And that's going to give Alex the trip jacks. AJ with no chance here. But can he bluff Alex off? I do think that AJ could possibly take a stab at it here with the up and down 4-card straight on the board. So many ways he could have gotten there. A 5-8, a simple 8, an 8 queen. I mean, AJ really could take a stab at this. He did check. Alex is going to bet it here. But I really think a raise could buy this pot. Not that I'm saying he should do it, but I really think it does. And he does. Oh, he makes the call. He doesn't raise here. He just simply makes the call. Wow. Oh, AJ. Buddy, if you raise him any significant amount, you get him to go away. I don't think there's any way that Alex makes that call. If you raise him any significant amount, you get him to go away. I don't think there's any way that Alex makes that call. Caden with a pair of aces looking to pick up a pot here early on for his hand, or for his night, and he does. Caden with a pair of aces looking to pick up a pot here early on. So Caden picking up a few chips here early. And he does.
Yeah.
So Caden picking up a few chips here early.
Just so we have more room. No, you're good. I just so we can have more room. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just happy somebody else is fucking with it. I can't carry it.
AJ going to move over to the 10 seat there. Guess a little too close to comfort for Alex. I don't know. I'll have to ask him later if Alex stunk. No. That's why people move away from me. That's all I know. I don't know. Maybe AJ stunk. Maybe Alex told him, listen, buddy, I moved over here, but you're going to have to move to the 10 seat. That's why people move away from me. Charlie with an ace queen of clubs. He's going to go ahead and re-raise all in. He does move all in for 260. AJ with a king jack with a decision to make here. He did raise it up. It is 240 to call. AJ with a king jack with a decision to make here. He did raise it up. Swipe right. Swipe right. Joey, swipe right. Swipe right. Swipe right. Well, you got to show the whole class, Joey. Oh, and AJ does make the call, and a queen on the river. Oh my goodness. Oh, and it was the straight. He picks up the straight. Oh, how brutal. And AJ just living the dream. Is that a king or a queen on the flop? On the second board. Cannot tell. It is a king. Wow. And so AJ just living right as always. Wow. Picking up the big pot there. Oh my gosh. Charlie did not want to see that queen. He did not want to two-pair up on the river there on that top board. How gross. That's the second time tonight that AJ has won both boards. Oh my gosh. Charlie did not want to see that queen. He did not want to two-pair up on all in. Wow. How gross. That's the second time tonight that AJ has won both boards.
For what it's worth, I bet
On all in.
and I know
Wow.
you're a great simmer because I've been watching and I love that you are. But I bet I bet he has. I know, but I'm calling. I know, I'm calling. Oh, you're blind calling? Can I double straddle this?
Well, is it 10 on bomb pot?
Is it a bomb pot for real? Oh shit, it's a bomb pot.
$10 bomb pot?
You want to straddle the bomb pot? But yeah, no. Respect. I'm glad that you.
I'm telling you, Lou, I don't know what's going on, but he is doing something right. That's for sure. Good grief.
And I haven't dealt here.
I'm telling you, Lou, I don't know what's going on, but he is doing something right. That's for sure. Good grief.
I mean, I'm on the schedule with no shifts, and like I told Rock, like if you ever really need something, just call me. Yeah.
Bomb pot here. Again, not seeing what everybody has. So while we're going over the bomb pot, y'all can watch this out. I'm going to run. Do business. Bomb pot here. Again, not seeing what everybody has. So while we're going over the bomb pot, y'all can watch this out. I'm going to run. Do business. Well, it's a beautiful evening for poker, that's for sure, folks. And AJ is taking full control of it. He's taking full advantage. Well, it's a beautiful evening for poker, that's for sure, folks. And AJ is taking full control of it. He's taking full advantage. Alex is a winner with a 9-8 here. A 9-10. Alex is a winner with a 9-8 here. A 9-10. Lou, I don't know if you were still watching earlier, but I asked you earlier. I don't think you answered. How many games do you think the Rangers take the series in against the Astros? You've already said you think they're going to win it all. I asked you earlier. I don't think you answered. How many games do you think the Rangers take the series in against the Astros? You've already said you think they're going to win it all. So Aaron with the raise to 15 with a ace-9 suited, a 2-5-8 flop, no good for anybody. Checks around, and we're going to get an ace on the turn. And that's good for Meloso. He's going to be way ahead on this pot. In fact, the only thing that can beat him at this point is a 4. AJ betting it up. Meloso, I'm not going to call for $20. Let's see if AJ really is the man. Oh, so close, and it's a 3 on the river. But with that 3 on the river, does AJ take a stab at it? He very well could. I've seen it happen before. The man likes to bluff occasionally. But he does check it, and Meloso going to win that hand with a pair of aces. Take a stab at it. He very well could. I've seen it happen before. The man likes to bluff occasionally. But he does check it, and Meloso going to win that hand with a pair of aces. So Joey now on the button. Going to have a straddle for $10. Going to come on around. Alex going to fold. Joey going to look down at a king 7 off and make the fold for 5 more. Sean with a deuce 4 going to raise it up to, no, he's going to make the call, excuse me. And an ace 2-3, so Meloso flopping the straight. Sean flopping the pair of deuces with the straight draw. And an ace 2-3, so Meloso flopping the straight. Sean flopping the pair of deuces with the straight. And Sean making the bet here. Or excuse me, making the call. Meloso making the bet. And a 10 of spades on the turn, so it does possibly bring in the flush draw. Excuse me, making the call. Meloso making the bet. And a 10 of spades on the turn, so it does. And Aaron going to pull in that pot there with the straight. And Aaron going to pull in that pot there with the straight. Alex with a 6-5 of clubs. He's going to raise it up to $30 here. $25, excuse me. No, actually, he's just making a call. I don't know if it was a straddle or a raise. But Joey, however, going to look down and see pocket nines, and he's going to raise it up to $100, or $100 more, excuse me. No, $100 straight. Let's see here. Aaron with a king jack. He's going to think about that for a little bit. Of course, AJ with the queen 10. I was fixing to say, is it definitely a snap fold unless Aaron would have called. Then it would have been a snap call probably for AJ, but he is going to go ahead and get away. Alex with a 6-5. He's not going to make that call for 80 more, I don't think. And Caden going to go away probably as well with a queen 6. Alex with a 6-5. He's not going to make that call for 80 more, I don't think. And Caden going to go away probably as well with a queen 6. Alex now leading the way in chips at $1,200 with Vanilla Ice right behind him, AJ at $1,100. Alex now leading the way in chips at $1,200 with Vanilla Ice. And it looks like we got another bomb pot, so I won't be able to see anything, so and it looks like we got another bomb pot, so I won't be able to see anything. So. So it looks like the boat on top, nines full of eights are going to take the top. Ace 10 for the bottom on that one, but I don't know what the other winning hand. So clearly, whoever had the boat did not have the bottom one as well. Boat on top, nines full of eights are going to take the top. Ace 10 for the bottom on that one, but I don't know what the other winning hand. Now we're back to Hold'em. Whoever had the boat did not have the bottom one as well. Now we're back to Hold'em. AJ going to look down at an ace deuce while Alex has a king 6 on the button. Straddle from Caden with a queen 7, and he's just going to raise it up to $20. AJ going to make the call, I'm sure. He didn't call 10, not to call 20. And Aaron going to make the call as well. We don't know what he has. He has a jack 8, so queen 7. Queen 7 picks up the pair of queens. Caden with the pair. He's going to check it, and AJ's going to take a stab at it for $30. Caden making the call. Aaron going to go away pretty quickly, and we're going to see a turn. 7 picks up the pair of queens. Caden with the pair. He's going to check it, and AJ's going to take a stab at it for $30. A 4 on the turn now, so Caden probably feeling pretty well about his queens. He's going to go ahead and make the bet here now that the hand bettered, or the board possibly made a better hand. A 4 on the turn now, so Caden probably feeling. And a call from AJ, and it's going to be a river 9. So Caden going to be ahead here. Caden going to actually be winning the hand here unless AJ can find a way to bet him off of it. I don't think that he will. Caden did check. AJ going to just go ahead and check back, I would assume. AJ can find a way to bet him off of it. Don't think that he will. Caden did check. AJ going to just go ahead and check back. AJ does check back, and it is going to go to Caden. Good job, Caden. Nice hand, pair of queens there. AJ does check back, and it is going to go to Caden. Good job, Caden. Nice hand, pair of queens there.
Whenever I was living there, let's just say I went to like Lowe's, I know I'd see somebody. I thought that was fun.
I'm not you.
I played softball there, so I felt like I was like connected to it.
Kevin, of course, doing a great job in the box tonight. Again, hadn't seen him in a while, but he's doing a good job. Kenzie was supposed to push in at 10, but she went ahead and gave that shift up to Kevin. Let him finish it out.
Of course, doing a great job in the box tonight. Hadn't seen him in a while, but he's doing
Good job for him.
Kenzie was supposed to push in at 10, but she went ahead and gave that shift up to Kevin. Let him finish it out. Good job for him.
I believe Kevin also graduates this year, so if I'm not mistaken, after this year, he won't be around anymore. He'll be moving, I believe, back to the Metroplex area. So we'll wish him the best of luck as we get into another bomb pot.
If I'm not mistaken, after this year, he won't be around anymore. He'll be moving, I believe, back to the Metroplex area. So we'll wish him the best of luck as we get into another bomb pot.
It goes so much faster.
I see 10-8 on bottom, and then I see Jack 9. Diamonds. Also I see Jack 9 diamonds. Yeah.
All right, a little bit bigger bomb pot than we've been seeing this entire time, so a little bit bigger bomb pot than we've been seeing this entire time, so we'll see where that chop goes. Looks like we might have a three-way. So somebody probably got quartered. We'll see where that chop goes. So we might have a three-way. So somebody probably got quartered.
225.
We had this game.
Oh, okay. No. It's the same with that. Yeah. Yeah. So I got Jack high flush. No, we just said it. We did. He had Jack high flush.
So this pot that was left over here splits in half. And he won all of one half. I was like, as soon as the diamond got there, I was like,
Dude, and like, even on the other one, even if it wasn't a diamond, it had all the wraps. I had to straight into it. Like, wish it wasn't a diamond.
Yeah, AJ benefited from almost all of them, too.
That was all
finally back to Hold'em, where AJ has got a king 8 of diamonds, Alex with a queen of diamonds, and a queen 7 of diamonds. So he picks up the pair of 7s, but AJ picking up the pair of 8s. Joey with a 2-3, just getting frisky to bluff. AJ, of course, not going anywhere because he has a pair and he knows that it'll turn into the winner more than likely. Joey with a 2-3, just getting frisky to bluff. Oh, and the 9 showing up, giving the straight draw to both Alex and to AJ. AJ. Joey's still betting like crazy here. Of course, he does represent a jack. So AJ and Alex both. The only hope Alex has here is that he does pick up the fact that if a jack was to hit the board. Oh, Lordy have mercy. Good job, Joey. He did have to manufacture that hand. Sometimes you just have to manufacture a win when you're not hitting. Oh, Lordy have mercy. Good job, Joey. He did have to manufacture that hand. Sometimes you just have to manufacture a win when you're not hitting.
All things aside, he's beat me in a lot of hands where he shouldn't have. So me giving him $10 is just like a respect thing. Where I should be like
AJ with a king jack. I'm sure he'll want to play this hand. He does just flat for $5, and it's going to be folded around. Looks like it's going to get folded around, and it's just going to be him and I'm sure he'll want to play this hand. Aaron with a deuce 4 who just checks. Well, Sean does make the call with a 6-3 of diamonds, and it is an 8-10-5, 2 diamonds. So a little bit of everything for everyone. It is a 4 of diamonds, so now he does hit the flush. 8, 10, 5, 2 diamonds. So a little bit of everything for everyone. Sean hits the flush with the 6-3 of diamonds. He does hit the flush. And he does get a call as well. Sean hits the flush with the 6-3 of diamonds. And a 6 of hearts on the river. That's actually going to give... it does give the straight. No, it doesn't give the straight. Excuse me. Sean's going to pick it up with a flush. And looks like Aaron went ahead and made that call, which is a little bit of a... It does give the straight. No, it doesn't give the straight. Excuse me. Sean's going to pick it up with a flush. Quavo out here noticing all kinds of stuff. Hey, you don't know where those fingers were at and why he'd be licking them, bro. Quavo out here noticing all kinds of stuff. Hey, you don't know where those fingers were at and why he'd be licking them, bro. Quavo out here noticing all kinds of stuff. You don't know where those fingers were at and why he'd be licking them, bro.
good luck to everybody against AJ because he's the only one that seems to be able to win a hand.
Yeah, the fuck.
No matter what he does. Ever since Alex showed up, I'm just like
You said 45? Like what?
You said 45?
stagnant.
Winning both boards on an all-ins again?
Oh yeah.
You should refund that man his money.
Yes, I will. The same guy, he did it to me.
Oh, when I
like 30
king
minutes earlier.
jack versus ace queen, yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was pretty good throws. He was ahead of you the whole way, and he hits his two pairs. He was a luck guy.
I know.
Well, no, he did it to me the first time. Same kid. He did the same thing to me. I had 6s versus his ace queen. He hit both.
Alex checks, Kane checks.
And then turns around and gives them all in.
So Alex and Caden here. King, queen, ace on the flop. Caden with a pair of kings. Aaron with a pair of aces. So Alex and Caden here. King, queen, ace on the flop. Caden with a pair of kings. And a 4 of spades should slow things down just a little bit, but as we've seen with Aaron, he is never afraid to make big bets. And he does move all in. Oh my goodness. The thing is that comes off as a straight bluff. I mean, you want... Oh, I can see Caden making this call here so easily. but he does only have a king. Now, if he had an ace in his hand, he may make that snap call. I could see Caden making this call here so easily. But Meloso also looking like he's representing an ace, and he is, not wanting a fourth spade to come, and he does not. So, but Meloso also looking like he's representing an ace. What up, Lou? Why you calling me dumb? A fourth spade to come, and he does not. So. What up, Lou? Why you calling me dumb? So we are just about at the end of our night. We got about 12 more minutes to go here on the live stream. We're just about at the end of our night. We got about 12 more minutes to go here on the live stream. Alex with an ace and 9 raises and gets called. It's going to be ace deuce 3 on the flop. So Alex picking up the pair of aces, AJ picking up the pair of deuces, and he will play those things out because he'll win. King of spades on the turn, so no help for anybody. Alex still leading away. Caden with a 10-9, no help. AJ going to lead out for $25. Alex not going to go anywhere with the top pair. But I'm sure we'll see a jack or deuce on the river. Oh, and it's a queen. So no help for for AJ. I'm sure we'll see a jack or deuce on the river. Oh, and it's a queen. Hey, Quavo, just noticing stuff. He calling dude out for licking his fingers. Hey, at least he wiped them on his shirt, though. He didn't lick his fingers and pick up his cards. Hey, Quavo, just noticing stuff. Calling dude out for licking his fingers. And that's a win for Alex. So Alex just adding to that chip stack. He's up to about 1,400 or so. And that's a win for Alex. So Alex just adding to that chip stack. He's up to about 1,400 or so. Alex leading away at 1,400 in chips. AJ taking a bit of a hit. He's down to 753. He was doing really well there for a while. chips. AJ taking a bit of a hit. He's down to 753. He was doing really well there for a while. And another bomb pot. And another bomb pot.
Add the card to try to scare you with. You what? Yeah. I got. I gave him $5. You give him $5. Look. No, but he didn't want to.
All right, for about the last 6 minutes here, we're going to be back to Hold'em. So let's see what people can do here in the last 6 minutes. See if Joey can climb out of his bit of a hole. See if Alex can hold on to those chips, or if he's willing to dump them off in 6 minutes.
We just go into the game because like we just tipped him everything.
Joey can climb out of his bit of a hole. I don't think that'll be the case. Sean with the queen 6 and Meloso with a 9-6. Don't see what AJ's got, but I don't think that'll be the case. Sean with the queen 6 and Meloso with a 9-6. AJ with a king queen gonna make the call here. I'd be surprised if he didn't raise it up, but I guess he's. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know who else is in after that, and AJ does raise it up to 20. And Alex going to make the call with an ace-10. Caden with a pocket pair of 9s. He's going to go ahead and make that flat call as well, and so does Joey with queen 8. And a 10-8-5 on the flop. That's going to give Alex the pair of 10s. So Alex now ahead of the pack right now with a pair of 10s and his ace kicker. He's going to go ahead and bet on it. He's going to lead out, and Caden going to make the snap call here because he may think that the 8s are what they're betting on. Joey, however, goes away with the pair of 8s, and of course AJ with the king queen, still with the chance to get ahead in this hand, but got to decide whether he's willing to put the money in the pot with $700 left. I don't think he really wants to get caught up, and he decides not to. So we're heads up now. Ace-10 versus pocket 9s. Of course, remember, AJ had the king-queen and a jack on the turn, so that would have put an open-ender there for AJ. So we're heads up now. Ace-10 versus pocket 9s. Of course, remember, AJ had the king-queen and a jack on the turn, so that would have put an open-ender there for AJ. Oh, that's cold. Oh, we did not get to see the end of that hand. That is so terrible. I don't know what happened, but we did not get to see the end of that hand. A tidge bit frustrating. That is so terrible. I don't know what happened, but we did not get to see the end of that hand. tidge bit frustrating. Looks like it may be our last hand of the night. I don't know. We could get one more in here, but we are on hand number 110. Looks like it may be our last hand of the night. I don't know. We could get one more in here, but we are on hand number 110.
Foot deep? Okay. 1 foot deep, that's it.
All in from Sean for 65 with an ace 4. And we're going to get a call here from Caden, it looks like. So we're heads up. All in from Sean for 65. With Queen 6 deuce. So a pair of sixes for Caden now. Meloso is in on the hand as well with an 8-7. It's going to be a 3 on the turn. And a queen on the river, it looks like. So queens and sixes look like they're going to take this hand. Oh, no, kings. Yeah, pair of sixes still take that hand. And a queen on the river, it looks like. So queens and sixes look like they're going to take this hand. Oh, no, kings. Yeah. All right, that is going to be the end of the live stream tonight with the chip count. Alex going to be final chip count of 1,500. AJ at 733. Caden with 522, Meloso 455, and Joey with 350. I want to remind you guys again, we are at 5004 Frankfurt Avenue. Doors open every day at 1 p.m., and we will see you guys on the next stream.